Oh my God, everyone. We're so sorry. I'm telling you, we were like, why is the chat not like there's Disneyland talk? For some reason, they don't seem to be interacting with us. This one's on me. I forgot to hit the start button. So Dan and I just did about 35 minutes.
We got to do it all over again?
Over again.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
So I started reading the comments. It says these guys are late to their own show. What the heck?
I was like, why are we so like disjointed from the comments? And then
oh, my goodness. We had a great show. First 30 minutes, man, we were chopping it up, and we thought, why is nobody responding to some of my antics? And hey, if anybody, if you can hear us out there,
you gotta bring back the thing we opened the show with.
Oh my goodness! Hey, you out there?
It's involved. Yeah, they are, but it's involving utensils. Dan did a whole bit involving utensils.
Yeah, I did a whole thing on the Giants. We did an opening. All right, guys.
Do it again.
I even put Robert Rothberg's comment up there and had a speech about the Giants going 40-11 in their final 51. Okay, guys. Now that we are live with an audience, wow, that's never happened before. Do we have any playback of that, or is it just?
Oh, it's Dan. It's all over.
It goes into dead air.
Things you just got to move on. Keep going.
All right. We're on, guys. It's 5:29 here, and we're gonna start now. Okay. So I opened the show up with. This was a tough loss, but I told you all last night.
Use the visual.
I got it. It's coming. I told you guys last night, bet the Padres and take the run line because the Giants are going to lay down. I didn't really think they'd lay down, but I knew they'd get their butts kicked because the Padres, when you have a victory like you did last night with a big walk-off, it demoralizes the losing team and it uplifts the winning team. So I saw that. I've been seeing this for years. So all you guys that think the Giants have a chance, you know what this is right here? It's called a big fork. And you could put a fork in the Giants. Okay? Put a fork in them. They're done for 2022. Robert? I know you're optimistic, and I love the fact that you're optimistic. But the Giants aren't going 40-11 in their last 51, okay? I love your optimism, but I recommend you take a course at the local community college. It should be just starting up. Take a course on reality, okay? The Giants are done. They're 7.5 back. We've been telling you this team's toast. Carol, so much violence, yes. So much violence. Carol, did you like that? You want to see that again?
We did this whole thing.
Put a fork in the Giants. Okay. They're done.
They're dead. They're absolutely dead. Dan and I were talking about the one benefit is that, now we're betting against them. I actually woke up feeling optimistic, despite also I had the same feelings Dan did going to bed. But I was like, you know what? I think today is going to be a day where some runs are scored. I think the Giants are going to put some runs on the board. And so I took the Giants plus a half a run for the first 5 innings, plus 1.5 for the game. Turned out to be stupid. But guess what? Once they got up 4-0, I said, there's no freaking way we're just going to cruise to an easy victory. The Padres are coming back. So then I smashed the live line, got the Padres at 4.5, like plus 450, got them at like plus 200 to be, to only lose by 1.5. Ended up blowing the Giants out. So it doesn't even matter. We ended up winning, or winning money. So that's good. And Joey Bart, we were saying the thing that sucks is that Joey Bart, he's like the one bright spot. And now it seems like he has a serious kind of ankle thing.
Oh man, I hope he's not out for an extended period of time. An extended period of time means he's going to have to go on the IL. Even just a 10-day stint would be bad because he has momentum going and you hate to see it. Hopefully, I love what he's done to his swing, and wait till he gets that swing really honed in, Rye. when he has the off season to even work on it more than what he had, just a couple of weeks down in the minor leagues. So Joey Bart, a guy when he makes contacts over 100 miles an hour almost on every ball he hits the hardest balls I've seen a Giant hit since Barry Bonds. I mean,
I would dare I say he hits the hardest ball since Elliot Ramos around week 3.
I mean, he's hitting some
video
just
farting. Joey Fart Rye Vid.
What's that?
Joey Fart Rye Vid. Does that mean that there's a fart? Was there a funny fart?
Rye Vid. Joey Fart Rye Vid. Is there a video of answer that in the affirmative?
Let us know. Is there a video that we need to ripping ass? Because I would be I kind of, the way that guy hits the ball, I bet he's got a violent fart.
Oh yeah. So anyway, what I was saying, that's crazy that we had a 30-minute show between you and I.
It's all right. Warm up.
Yeah, we came on at 5:00. Just right a minute or so before.
I was like, well, come on, guys. Why are we hating so? Because they were like, hey, like Larry would never be 23 minutes late to his thing, and I was like, oh, come on, I started around 5. That's not even that bad. Now the chat's icing us out. They're not responding, but
Nick J says, what do you say, Dan? Go on a complete eating strike until they make the World Series again.
Oh my
man,
dead. You'll be dead.
Yeah, I'll tell you. This is just what we said is earlier. We're going to have some fun the last 2 months of the season. We're going to talk about the Giants. We're going to talk about each game, and we're going to talk about Gabe and Farhan and what needs to be done. But we don't want to beat a dead horse. I mean, we want to have some fun. And Larry and I are having a show that will be with Rye and everything. But Larry and I are going to put together our 23, what we want to see as GM, if we were GMs, what we want to see the Giants do for 23. And we're going to try and we'll do an overlay and see how close we come. But we think this is correctable if the Giants are willing to spend money. And I'm a diehard Giants fan, have been since I was 8 years old. I'll be 61 here in about a week. So we're talking over 50 years of following the Giants since 1968. I've seen some very, very lean years. I'll never give up on the Giants, but I'm also, as the older I get, I'm more realistic and I'm able to see things much clearer than I was when I was in my 20s. And I kind of thought a lot like Robert, oh yeah, they're 30 under, but if they win the next 40 out of 50, they'll, they got a shot. So
yeah, hope's not a plan.
Yeah, hope is not a plan. Yeah. So what we're saying here is that this team is flawed. Very, very flawed. What Carol saying? I beat you, Dan. What did she beat me at?
She beat us. She beat you to a point or something. I'm sorry. We're a little disconnected from the chat because we were trying to figure out what was going on at the beginning. There was talk of Disneyland. I gave a take on Tower of Terror. It's now Marvel Slingshot. Or
did she put a fork in me? Maybe.
Oh, I hope. Or maybe she beat you to the complete. Oh, MF has asked, what's the Krueg show schedule for Friday? So we're kind of figuring that out. I mean, there's a game there. We'll do the Giants post, I guess, right? Is there a Giants post?
There's a Giants game. They play the Pirates. There won't be much of the
definitely
Giants.
Do a 49ers preseason post. The one thing is Larry's probably going to go to the game. I could go, but it may be irresponsible just because I don't want to get the whole team sick. But we'll definitely do a post
preseason. You might want to just wait one more game. Yeah. They've got the third game at home, don't they?
Yes. Yeah, and you know what? For everyone out there, let me know what you guys think about this. So I got invited along with Larry to go to this awesome, it's like a banquet season kickoff situation on Sunday where it's all the players and coaches and the media that's going to be covering the team, And then like, there's going to be like a dinner on the field, and it's going to be like a good meet and greet and maybe an opportunity to get some interviews and schmooze. But I could also just ruin the entire season if I got everyone sick with COVID. So I'm like, massive opportunity to network and get cool interviews for the channel, ruin the whole Niners season. No, it's kind of a toss up. So let me know what you guys think I should end up doing on that one.
What is Anonymous saying? It says, I 2 weeks ago.
Donation.
Wait, got a donation. There we go.
There is no chance they spend money on big name free agents. People are kidding themselves. They will stay the course and the park will be empty. I think that's true. I mean, I think that I think MF said that this was like the 2014 Niners. I am getting major 2014 Niners.
Well, if they do that, they are just prolonging the inevitable, which they'll just keep losing fans more and more. They got to make a stark change. They've got to make some bold moves in the offseason, or the fan base is going to be livid. The media will be screaming at them. And, I think Farhan knows he's going to have to do something because it's his 5th and final year. And I don't think if the Giants do nothing in the offseason, significantly nothing, then you are looking at probably Farhan getting the axe at the end of his term. Because
not for this year, but you're saying
not this year. No, after next year. If he does nothing, he's got to show some moves. I mean, the GM, and I'm kind of wondering, the Tigers, they let go of their GM today, and they went in the offseason and signed Javi Baez. And
well, that's because the Hard Knocks got released, and they were like, holy shit, look at this guy who's leading our football team. Let's get somebody in there more like this. Also, just, for random fun, and I haven't really been able to participate in all these funny eating things. So, you know what I'm going to do? Because now I'm running a little low on juice because we did 30 minutes just talking into the clouds.
There you go.
Yerba mates, they're like a little bit of a healthier Red Bull tea situation. Here, I'm going to chug this one on camera for y'all.
There you go.
All right, here we go. Let's see.
Ooh, look at that. He's feeling better. Spit it out. Spit it out. Spit it out. Oh, Rye is getting better. Did you test today? Did you test today?
I have not tested today. I'm waiting till the end of the day to test.
There you go. You might be negative now after that.
I'm thinking that just did it. My skin's a little pasty white, but
yeah, I was looking for the comment here, and I lost it. Anonymous.
FBI just raided Kappler's apartment and seized all of his analytics spreadsheets and over 2 tons of coconut oil.
Oh man!
I'm just watching Drury and Soto bludgeon us.
Yeah, that's another comp. Thanks for bringing that up, Charles. Michael Sinclair. Look, getting Soto was a long shot, but I had been calling for Drury. How long have I been calling for Drury? About 6 weeks.
Spreadsheet. It's in the spreadsheet as your dream trade target at the deadline.
Well, it was one of my guys that I said you can have him for not a lot. Okay, he's a free agent at the end of this year. Cincinnati is in a rebuild. You could have offered a mid-level prospect for Brandon Drury, not a top 15 prospect, but probably somewhere 18 to 22 your prospect, and you could have gotten Brandon Drury. Imagine having Brandon Drury, J.D. Davis, and a couple of relievers. Now you've got a different team. Now you can get rid of La Stella. You don't need to be carrying the dead weight. Now you can Longoria, you don't have to rush him back until he's ready to run full speed.
I mean, seriously, Dan, how much of a benefit is it having just J.D. Davis, just a professional baseball player that can play every day in the lineup? Not even close to a borderline all-star, just a baseball player.
Yeah,
plays good defense, got a little power, you can hit for a little average. Like, it is such a massive bump to this offense. And I think I can't remember what I've said on camera and what I haven't, but I think I said, I think Larry would come in here, and I think Larry's a little more focused on, like, we need some freaking hitting. We can't keep scoring one run. I'm in the point where, like, this offense, we could figure it out. if we had played great fundamental defense and had a great bullpen. Because right now we only have 2 starters that are guaranteed to go 5 or 6 innings. Cobb and Wood have been pitching really well lately, but still, you can't expect them to go more than 5 or 6. And it's like, we have no freaking bullpen we can trust. And where the hell is Brebbia? That was my excuse. That was my out I gave Kappler yesterday. I was like, well, you know what? Maybe they're saving Brebbia for the bullpen game. Nope. We did not see him today. Nope. Our bullpen was shitty again. God.
Yeah, what is Lewis Marston says, I love Kappler post-game interview. Our pen has been horrible for the last 2 months. I didn't hear his post-game. Did he must have mentioned that? Did he actually use those words that our bullpen has been horrible? Love to hear if that's true. I imagine he must have said it if Lewis is pointing that out. I still want to know if Carol could explain what this meant. I beat you, Dan.
Dan, you're salty.
I'm just curious. I mean, I want to know, does somebody want to put a fork through me? I hope that's not the case. I mean, Dan, look, that's a nice shirt, right?
Did you make it? Did you pierce it?
No, I did. It didn't pierce.
Oh.
I was actually looking for my old shirt. I have an old shirt with lots of holes in it, but it's up at my Prescott place. So it's at the other place. So I was going to put right through one of the other holes, and I was going to stick it right through the pillow, but I didn't even. This isn't even a pillow. This is just an empty dog food bag, so it's not.
How about this, Charles Michael Sinclair? Padres gave up their number 27 prospect for.
Oh, there you go. I meant to look that up. Thank you. So I said 18 to 22. You could have had Drury for. Hey, you could have offered better, and you could have had Drury over a month ago.
You could have had Drury for VR.
Yeah, you could have had Drury a month ago.
Oh, Carol T beats you because she's a fan since the 60s.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Carol. I'm a fan since 68, so you've been a fan earlier than that. That's wonderful.
Fans all scared.
Yeah, and we never give up. We never give up on our Giants, but we are. Let's just be realistic. This team is just not ready to compete for prime time.
No, and you know what? Right as we realized that we weren't live, I was playing Dan Campbell's speech in the beginning of Hard Knocks. I'm just gonna get the audio going again, and everyone just in your minds just be like, is there any world where this guy that you're about to listen to sees Kappler at a cocktail party and goes up and if he has like a 1-sentence conversation with them, there is no way he's hanging around. There is no way that Dan Campbell would ever hang out with Gabe Kappler. There's just no way. They're completely different people.
Strike and move. They strike and move, and they're dangerous.
Oh, here we go.
Go from the beginning.
Yeah.
I'll start from here.
You just put your head down and go to work. All right. What are we?
I like the first line. Oh, there.
What makes us what we are and what we're going to be. I think it's that right there. It's grit. It's what we started with last year, guys. All you guys that were in here. It's our core foundation, man, grit. And what does it mean? Really, in a nutshell, I think it means this. We'll go a little bit longer, we'll push a little harder, and we'll think a little deeper and a little sharper. Like, to me, it means we'll play anywhere. We'll play on grass. We'll play on turf. We'll go to a fucking landfill. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass. It means that normally I'm 100%, 85%, man. That's all I need to beat you. I don't care. I will produce and win at 85%. You guys already know you're not going to be 100% until next March. This is the best you're going to feel right now. It's the best you're going to feel. The quicker you accept that, man, the better off we're all going to be. All right, now, there's a number of teams as it equates to, just bear with me, the ocean, right? There's a number of teams, they just barely get to the water. You got to get in the water to compete. A number of teams, that's all they get to. Then there's a number of teams, they are in the shallows. And they come in a hurry, man, and they are all over your ass. They're all over your ass, and they strike and move. They strike and move, and they're dangerous, man. You just got to get a hold of them, though. If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them. And that's what we got to be. That's who we have to be, because that's our domain. That is our domain. Because we'll tread water as long as it takes to fucking bury you. We'll go as long as it takes because we can and we choose to. That's who we are. That's who we have to be. Now, it goes without saying, the teams that are dangerous in the shallows and the abyss are probably the top 4 or 5 in this league. That's who they are. And that's what we're working to. Last thing I'm going to say, I'm keeping this brief. The last thing I'm going to say is this. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. There is no light. There's a song Metallica has, No Leaf Clover, and it says, man, when it comes to the soothing light at the end of your tunnel, it's just a freight train coming your way. So if you're seeing a fucking light, it's a freight train. Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Dang. Does that not make you want to just run through a freaking wall?
I think he'd do probably better as not even knowing anything about baseball, running the Giants.
I know.
Than Kappler.
Seriously. It's like
just take Farhan's geek sheet, put his lineup out there, but have some passion in the dugout and get guys.
Exactly. That would complement. That's how you complement. Farhan is an analytical guy. Let's get someone in there that understands the player. Like, that's the thing about football coaches and it's why all of these ex-Belichick disciples fails, because they try and be Belichick, but you have to be yourself, because these are, whatever it is, 54 dudes and 53 dudes in a locker room. They're dudes, man. Like, they are around these kind of guys. And they can smell bullshit better than they know bullshit. They know who's the good players, and they can smell bullshit when it's coming from a coach. So you have to be yourself. You have to tell the truth.
Right. You got to be yourself.
That's the only way you're going to get through to these guys. And
but
with
if yourself as a nerd, it's just a weird dude, it doesn't work.
Like, it feels like, think about Kappler. When Kappler talks, I would have no problem with it if that was really him. But it feels like he's measured in everything he's saying. Like, freaking Dan Campbell's out there, like, dude is like crying at practice. Like, it's like the most manly cry of all time. Like, it's like, oh God.
I think what you're seeing in Kappler is, I think he's trying, like, I kind of wonder if he's had to go through anger management courses. Because if you look at him as a player and his first year in Philadelphia, he was crazy. He would get thrown out like 6 times in Philadelphia the first year as a player. He was in a brawl, and he was just like, he just bloodied somebody up, and he's like just screaming in the dugout at the players. I think Kappler is so strong physically, and he's got a temper that if he loses control, he might go off. So instead of just being who he is, he's like trying to be so unemotional.
Funny, a recovering bully.
No, seriously, you look at him in the dugout and he's like,
I mean, he's not a guy I'd like to hang out with. It's like
strike 3, a foot outside. Gee, I don't think that wasn't good. And then how about when he got thrown out, the one game he finally got thrown out? Did you see him push Kai Correa? Just like, get away from me, little punk. Could you imagine if that was Matt Williams coming out to get him? And he wouldn't do that. So he took the little guy, Kai Correa, who, if you look at Kai Correa, I don't think he had any baseball coaching experience in the big leagues at all. I don't even know if he had any coaching experience in the minors. He made him his bench coach, and, he's a guy that Kappler can just kind of, obviously push around.
But it seems like Kai Correa is like, if his sort of deal is like, running the analytics and taking care of all that kind of stuff, totally cool with that. But like, wouldn't it make sense to have, a player coach that's like freaking like super in tune with the guys, like to be the manager then, and then like to compliment? Because think about it, it's like, okay, Sean McVay becomes the head coach of the Rams at like a super young age, and he's this offensive genius. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to bring in Wade Phillips as the DC, because he understood, okay, I don't know nearly as much about defense.
He had WOTUS last year.
And he had WOTUS last year, and I'm a younger guy. So what am I going to do? I'm going to bring in the oldest guy who's a good defensive mind to complement. It's like, that's what you got to do. You got to understand that's part of it is you have to manage yourself. You have to manage all of your coaches. You have to understand where your weaknesses are. And then you have to be able to, complement them. So I just don't understand. It just doesn't, the smell test is not there.
They need to either get somebody like WOTUS back in there next year as the bench coach that can, if Gabe's going to be the manager, or move on from Gabe, because I would prefer they just move on, because last year, the thing that held this thing together was Ron Rothus and Buster Posey. I'm convinced of that they were the professionals in the dugout, and they kept people at distance from having to deal with Gabe one-on-one, because Kappler everything is measured. You listen to that speech with Dan Campbell, and I understand personalities are everybody's made different. And, if it's not in you to have that kind of a speech, but the guy that he's just so calculated, and everything is monotone and premeditated. And it's almost like it's premeditated. Once the question's asked, he sits there and then he comes out with a calculated answer that has nothing, he never gets right to it. And, it's time. I mean, this is what, the third year or fourth year? 19, 20. This is the fourth year. Third year. 2020 was his first year. Yeah. So this is his third year.
Well, okay. and I'm not even saying that he's necessarily a bad manager, but you can see this year it is abundantly clear to anybody that's watched the Giants this year that they hit a point where their chemistry just disappeared and things got a little weird around the team. There was just a weird vibe, and they've been trying to claw out of that now, for months, and it's now a little too late. And it's like, we need somebody in there, even if Kappler wants to continue being the coach. Okay. But then Kai has to be gone, and we bring in like a Will Clark type to be the bench manager. You need somebody that's going to be able to steer the ship in these kind of situations. You have to understand your weaknesses. Look
at whose decision. I wish I knew whose decision it was, whether it was Ron Rothus' decision to retire on his own just because he wanted a break, or were the Giants just having him stay on for 1 year to be a bridge gap, and then to help this new coaching staff along, because the coaching staff was very inexperienced, very young. Or was Kappler, was WOTUS like, I can't deal with this style. I can't deal with Gabe, or I can't deal with all of the way the game's being managed by the front office. I wish really got a chance to know that. And we'll probably never know the truth of that. But gosh, I think WOTUS would be a fantastic manager, because he managed through the system. He won championships in the minor leagues with guys, and he was, the guy that has never gotten a chance to manage, but he's just a breath of fresh air.
I totally agree, Dan. And sorry, let us know if I just turned down my gain. Let me know if there's somebody said there was some echoing.
I'm not hearing too much, but MF, to answer your question on the 212 reunion, no, I'm not going to be coming up for the game this Saturday. Kind of like Buster and Lincecum, I won't be there.
I know Timmy didn't text Zito back or something.
Yeah, no, I will be up for the end of the month when we have the Pasquale golf tournament on Monday, the 29th, and then we've got the Padres in town those 3 days. You know what we're trying to do, Rye? What would be really great is if Hey, look at who's in the green room. He's trashing. Oh, man, he's tearing it up. Look at that, Rye. He is flipping tables. He is angry.
The spread.
Oh, my goodness, the spread. He just threw a sandwich at Cap. I can't believe it. He just threw a roast beef sandwich at Kappler and just missed him. Here comes Gabe. Gabe is coming after him. Larry and Gabe are going at it. Oh, my goodness. Kappler swings. He misses. Larry tackles Gabe. And, oh, man, something's going on in the green room right now. This is crazy. Kappler said he's had another.
Hello.
Darren Marchant says bashing on Kappler for his management of the team is fair game, but bashing on him for his personality, we've heard nothing from the players that he's lost the team. Nothing. I mean, nothing. Yeah, nobody's directly come out and said anything, but it's like if you're watching the team, you have to read the tea leaves. Just when guys come out and they talk about how the team needs to get fired up, guys like Rodon and Wood back when they were talking. Larry, what we were saying is like.
Oh, don't tell me. I was taping it. It was. I think it was. Giants were up 7. What was it? 7.
7-6.
7-6. Yeah, 7-6. Giants were up 7-6, and I turned it off. Did they win?
Well,
did they win? Oh,
they definitely used Brebbia.
Oh, they lost. Oh, damn.
Hey, we got a donation right here, right? Charles Sinclair,
baseball like his real life, PC and Wogue. I'm Larry classic.
Oh, here we go. Immediately, ESPN's military.
Did you hear what happened at the beginning of our show, Larry?
No.
Oh, we went for like 32, 33 minutes and then realized that like why is the chat not interacting with us and why is the chat like mad at us?
You hadn't gone live? You didn't
go live.
So
back. So we had to reenact everything. Did you see the
So you guys were like warm up. It was like the warm up.
Warm up. Yeah, we had a warm up.
Was it better the second time around or was it better the first time?
I don't really know. I mean,
it's hard to do. It's hard to reenact.
Did you see the fork?
About putting a fork in his shirt and the Giants were done.
Hey, look, I told everybody. I said, Robert Rothberg, I love your optimism, but put a fork in the Giants. They're done.
Oh, you stabbed the shirt like that?
And then Dan got some beef with Carol T. She's gonna beat his ass.
No, she was not. She said she beat me, but she meant being a fan longer than me. I know. I was worried that after I put a fork in Carol, she said, "Oh, some violence." And then she said, "I beat you, Dan." I thought maybe she had a little face of me or something, was throwing darts at me or something. But Carol's too nice. She's too nice. Carol T wouldn't do that to anybody.
She's a beautiful woman, Larry. So this is what we've been on kind of is we were talking about Dan Campbell, like how freaking awesome he was in Hard Knocks and how authentic he comes off, and how players in these locker rooms and clubhouses, they can freaking smell BS. They know they can tell if you're BSing them. That's why none of the Belichick disciples work, because they all try and be like Belichick. They don't be themselves. Dan Campbell, yeah, you could say it's a little corny the way he talks, but he's unapologetically himself. That's the thing about Kappler is it feels like everything is so it's so like thought out, and he's like trying to. It doesn't feel like he's letting his true personality show through. And
it's like if he had an option to make a statement off the cuff or craft something, he would opt to craft something.
Yeah, and then it's like what we were saying is like how maybe we need like kind of like a guy that sort of has a little bit more of an old school like player friendly guy in the clubhouse, whether that's like as the bench coach or whatever, but they're all on the same page of the analytics and all of that kind of stuff. And it's like, because of that, there's no one really like, I just don't understand the point of Gabe Kappler. Cause I don't think he's a bad manager, but I don't know if he necessarily, him and Farhan complement each other, because I feel like he should probably be more of like an old school guy who has like a sense of the clubhouse and make sure that, they don't fall into these ruts like they've been in for, the past couple months. as a team in terms of like momentum and just camaraderie and all of that kind of stuff. Instead, it just doesn't feel real.
All right. If you had to, I know this is a bottom line question, but we had Scott Osler on the show today. I was on 95.7 The Game with Guru from noon to 3. And we asked the great Scott Osler, is this more Kappler or is this more Farhan? Who are you more disappointed in? Is there, and he basically did not hedge. He said Farhan. He blames Farhan more for this. So yeah. I'll throw it to you guys. I mean, is this, to me, it's like I go back to my friend, the late Ralph Barbieri. Two things can be equally true. I do think Cap has, to a large degree, lost the clubhouse, but we'll see if they fire down the stretch. Maybe I'm wrong. I just think I think he's hard on people over time. But I don't have any sources really. I'm just giving you my thoughts from somebody who watches every inning of every game for the most part and reads the body language and talks to people around the team. But I'm not in that clubhouse every night. But do you look at it as maybe Gabe's not motivating his guys or has lost the room, or Farhan's to blame? Now, I guess my argument would be I like Farhan more than I like Gabe because I think Farhan is glib and funny and likable and I think obviously undeniably smart. And I like investing in smart people where I don't really vibe with Gabe. And to me, he seems off-putting. And I compare him to Harbaugh. It's like he's effective, but after a while, I think you get exhausted. I almost seem like a little exhausted by him in some ways. I'm watching his teams and his absolute maniacal lefty righty all season long. And some of the moves he's made in the last month, I've been like, wow, what are we doing here? But who's more to blame? Is it Farhan for not providing him the players? Is it Gabe because Gabe's lost the room? I think Gabe's probably lost the room to some degree, but I'd have to side with Farhan hasn't given him the players. And then it's a matter of, okay, is it all on Farhan or is it on the ownership? Is the ownership giving Farhan a restrictive budget that's making him do these things and he's just taking one for the team? Or is he opting to spend money that he otherwise could spend just because he can't find a creative way or an effective way to spend it? I don't know what the answers are, but, until this last week, they were dead as hell. So, I still think they're way under-talented. They need to go spend more money. I know that. So is it on the ownership? Is it on Gabe? Is it on Farhan? I don't know. I guess I'd say it's on the ownership if they're opting to tighten the purse strings at the wrong time. But then if they aren't, and Larry Bear's kind of made it sound like Farhan's got money to spend, then it's on Farhan. It's year 4. Why didn't you spend some of that money? But I don't love the way the club's managed day to day either, and I think the vibe kind of sucks. So it's weird. I'm giving you my straight, honest, candid opinion. I just don't know. Who would you guys say is most to blame if indeed the ownership was tough with a buck, let's say, and didn't give Farhan carte blanche and he's just covering them, which is possible? Do you blame them? Do you blame him? Do you blame Gabe? Who's to blame? Because right now they're kind of a mess, and they should be better than they are when you look at the revenues that they generate. Oh, Danny, you're muted, Danny.
Dan, you're muted. Dan must.
Okay. I would put the blame on the ownership first if they are definitely putting the brakes on the payroll. If not, then I blame Farhan, because if Farhan has the ability to create a roster with, more money than what he's spending, definitely on Farhan. I'm pretty irritated. I've been on this show talking about, now he's not a great player, but he's better than what they have. I've been talking about Brandon Drury for 6 to 8 weeks, saying he's a guy that you should go acquire. Wouldn't take much to acquire him. I said anywhere from your 18th to 22nd prospect. Someone in the chat said the Padres got him for their 27th prospect. He was a rental because he's a free agent. But imagine if you had him and J.D. Davis. Brandon Drury has 22 home runs now, more than Juan Soto this year. Okay. He's not a guy that you're looking to, but you are going to not build around him, but you're making your club better. You get rid of guys like La Stella, and you don't force Longoria back into the lineup when he can't even run full speed. You let him heal because you got other guys that can hit and play at situation in positions. Now you've strengthened your right side of your bat because you got JD Davis and you got Brandon Drury. You got major league players, okay, that are flexible. Farhan didn't do anything to go out and do that. That was an easy acquisition 6 weeks ago. You don't have to wait until the day of the trade deadline to make a deal. So you pay a little bit more. The Padres gave up their 27th. Give up your 18th number prospect. Who cares? You're trying to build a team. This was when you were in the race and you were actually the number 3 wild card. You could have done this, but you waited and waited and waited and let an old roster crumble, and you have no depth now.
Well, it's not even the hit, Larry. What I was saying is like it's not even the hitting at this point, because I mean I guess they could figure it out offensively. I guess if you just look at how many runs they've scored, but now our bullpen is dog shit. Like we can't. We have no one we can trust in the freaking pen, and we only have 2 guys that even can consistently you can count on going 6 innings. And Wood and Cobber, you know, they've been pitching really well, but still, it's like we don't have a 5th starter. We're gonna have, they're gonna have plenty of games where they only make it through 4 innings, and our bullpen we can't trust now unless we have running Duvall out there. I don't trust anyone in this pen except for Brebbia, who I made the excuse for Gabe yesterday that he was saving him for today, and I guess I was wrong.
I actually was yelling for Junior Marte. Look what he did today. 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. He was terrible.
Hey, I have an idea here. I'm wondering if we could get Darren. Darren says, bashing on Kappler for his management of the team is fair game, but bashing on him for his personality. Yeah, we've heard nothing from the players that he's lost the team. Can we get Darren and humble season ticket salesman to come on the air together and bring them into the chat, and let's have a face-off, an old-fashioned
to be pay-per-view for members only.
Yeah, I will judge personally however I damn well please, says Darren.
Are you calling for a Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, 2-man enter, 1-man leave?
I think we fly them both out to Arizona, and Dan drops the fork in between them and just say,
Are you referencing that hit movie that starred the great Tina Turner?
I just want to see 2 guys kind of go at it, like in the chat and say,
you want to see Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah.
2-man enter, 1-man leave.
There we go.
And then we start chanting that. 2-man enter, 1-man leave. 2-man enter, 1-man leave.
Are you up for that, Darren and humble season ticket salesman?
Danny, they're in a chat. They won't be answering.
Oh, well,
I feel like this is like that. This is that seniors commercial.
No, they just type in.
Things are expensive at the movies.
Just type in. Yeah, I want to come on. I want to battle.
We're not talking parking, Dan.
All right. Progressive cannot save you from turning into your parents.
Okay, throw out the number then, Ryan. We can get a couple people in the video conference.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the people in the chat, guys, are blaming the ownership.
I mean, okay, this is my
by the way, this one, Giant Niners fan. Did you guys see the fight in the stands last night? Maybe Ryan can show it. We played it on last night's live stream.
Yeah,
go check out last night's live stream on YouTube and check it out for yourself. We played it like 4 times.
Yeah, hey, if you throw out the link to come on in, we can have a rapid fire, bring people in and out, and
MF says he wants to come on the show sometime.
MF, come on, man.
No, MF can't come on the show. He doesn't donate enough. The MF, anytime you want to come on the show, let us know.
Yeah, there's the link. It's in the
link.
Okay, guys, let me just tell you, by the way, since MF is there, it just jogged my memory. Guys, we have to make the Krueg Show Fantasy League come to life.
Oh, I have to make moves on that.
We're gonna have to make that come to life. I want to play through Yahoo, not ESPN.
Oh, you're Yahoo guy?
Yahoo, the Yahoo ESPN. The ESPN league sucks. The Yahoo's way better. It's way better.
All my other leagues are in ESPN.
It's way better, and also here's the number. We'll throw this out there for the number. 510-823-0534. But we've got a lot of people who want to play fantasy with us, and MF wants to play. A lot of people want to play. MF says Yahoo's better. See, he's no question. Yahoo is a little bit better. I've played both. I've played ESPN. Yahoo's quite a bit better, I think. I don't know. I don't know why it's better. It just is better.
All right.
Anyway, but yeah, we can. I would say most of the people in the chat are saying that it's the ownership, which is, I don't know, man. Maybe that's bailing Farhan out by saying it's the ownership, but people believe that the ownership is restricting Farhan, despite the fact that Larry Baer has stated that he's got money left in his budget to spend, and that he's just not spending it.
Well, the weird thing is that it's like, I personally, I guess we have to put more blame on Farhan because part of his job is to manage the managers and manage all the coaches and make sure everything's going well. And so, but the funny thing is that I just like Farhan so much more. It goes back to, I feel like Farhan is himself when he talks. I just feel like Kappler should be replaced. I actually genuinely feel that now. I feel that we should keep going forward with Farhan, but that Farhan needs to kind of learn the lesson of, look, we can't just fill the whole organization with yes men. It just doesn't work out that way. This isn't the SS.
By the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, my son Kevin put together a reel from our rant last night. My rant on Tyler Rogers, the 7-7 guy. 7 up, 7 down. So check that out on the IG.
Oh yeah,
the Krueg show on the IG. Check that out. Tell me what you think of the reel. It's a pretty good little reel. My kid's got a lot of skill for that reel. I'll say that. He's good at it.
He's feeling it, man.
He's good at it. He's a hustler. Okay. I would say most people, for the most part, a couple Papirskis, but for the most part, people are blaming the ownership. I don't see anybody in here blaming Kappler.
I mean, well, because it's just like
DJ Venus says, make the losing stop, Larry, please.
I feel like Kappler is a smart guy and could be, he could do well in certain situations, but I just don't think there's no point of having a Kappler. We have to have a guy like Bob Melvin. We need a guy with a little bit more old school sort of feel.
You want Bo Mel now. Carlo P says, in Farhan, I no longer trust.
Yeah,
that was it. Are you in the camp in Farhan I trust, or are you with Carlo P? In Farhan, I no longer trust.
The thing is, I never trusted Gabe. I've never trusted him. I just don't trust. He just doesn't give off. He reminds me of when I had to do a sales job when I was working at Corolla for the first 6 months, and I had to work a sales job in a Silicon Valley tech thing, and it's he talks exactly the way they do. It's just everything feels measured, and it feels like they're trying to make you think that it's going to be fun and nice and great, but really
there's a dry erase board, and then they're talking about mission positions and all these different. Manny Machado, Giants should have tried to improve the bullpen at the trade deadline. The bullpen is overworked. Well, I would say this. I would say that is definitely true. And Manny, you're hot right now. You're really hot. So thanks for who would have thought that Manny Machado would join the chat?
Hey, we got somebody on the phone. Who is it?
Who do we got? Hello, welcome to the Krueg Show.
Yeah, hey, it's Larry in.
This is he. Say hi to Ryan, and Dan are here as well. What's going on? Who are we talking to?
I want to talk to you and Larry and that Dan Punk.
This is Dan.
This is Gabe, and I'm getting a little tired of you guys are talking about me. So, where are you guys located? I'm going to come down and kick your ass.
Well, hey, Gabe, this is what the emotion we've been wanting. Show your true colors. Really, tell us how you feel.
Yeah, well, if I have to come and get you guys, you think you got COVID now, little Ryan?
You're going to inject me with COVID?
Yeah, I'm gonna light you guys up, man.
Are you gonna lube me up with coconut oil?
Oh, don't even go there.
You need some coconut oil? I've been listening to your show for the last couple of weeks, and I've been taking a new one every night. and I'm not going to put up with it anymore.
What do you mean by taking a new one?
This sounds kind of like this sounds like the offspring of Gabe and Boach.
Yeah. And Dan, weirdly.
And Dan. Yeah. Oh, there you are. Wow. Oh. It's amazing. Dan.
I don't know what's going on.
Man, we got a crazy crank caller.
Is that Gabe talking?
Well, I think it was a Boach.
Anonymous is I'm blaming Kappler. MF says, I love the Krueg show. Can't wait for Friday. Niners, Packers. Join us in the post game. There's going to be hundreds of people in the chat. It's going to be big. It's going to be big.
Going to be huge.
It's going to be absolutely huge.
What's that called? The fantasy league? Krueg show league?
Darren, come on, Darren.
Yeah, the Krueg show league. The Krueg show league. Yahoo. It's got to be MF. It's got to be, who was our guy the other night who we had in there?
Sean Proctor.
What's that? Sean Proctor. It's got to be him. It's got to be you. It's got to be me, Rye.
Yeah, I'm
Dan. I guess Dan. We'll get Dan in there.
Oh man, I'm pouncing.
Do we want to do? This is one other thing.
Dan in there with his completes. Maybe Dan's team could be you completes me.
You know, I've never done an auction. Maybe that would be too difficult to do. That sounds scary.
We just need a snake draft. We just need a basic snake draft.
That's a good point. That Calba Kaminga. How do you pronounce that?
Kaminga.
Kaminga. Not like almost like Jonathan
Kaminga.
Completes.
Yeah.
He was small forward.
That is true. You never heard any Phillies like kind of feel bad about Kappler being let go and moved on. They were just kind of like, you know, that's when they brought in Girardi right after that, right?
Yeah. No,
Girardi.
Yes.
Yeah.
They brought in Girardi right after.
Boy, they're sure.
And Girardi didn't do better.
Yeah, they're sure playing well under.
There we go.
Oh, here's a
Who's
call.
at the door?
Is this Kappler again?
Hello.
Matt Kappler. It's Matt Kappler. What's up, guys?
What's up? Who is this?
Hey, this is Charles. I super chatted earlier. I just wanted to present a question, and I'll be off.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Charles. What's your question, bud?
Just think about how much money San Diego ownership allows AJ Preller to spend just willy-nilly, you know? And no universe should it be that San Diego is outspending San Francisco now, you know? So I just want to present that question. You know, the ownership is just willing to spend however much money it takes to consistently win. And, you know, unfortunately, the Giants are doing that. So
that's absolute facts. I mean, seriously,
do we have the payrolls so we can take a look at?
The Padres are over 200 million. The Giants are 154. I'll pull it up right here.
Yeah, pull that up.
And you know,
I agree with him wholeheartedly. The Giants should never be outspent by the Padres, especially now in 2022 with a stadium that's paid off and the Mission Rock project promises to be, you know, a ridiculous boon for the you know, the people who own the team. It's just, come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Padres were at 211 and the Giants are at 155 opening day. 211. So they're spending 56,000 million. 56 million more in payroll. And you know, maybe the Giants will understand something if they went out and actually did something really exciting in the offseason. Do you realize that the Padres had to turn off season ticket sales, because they were getting too many requests the day they made the trade for Soto? They actually stopped season ticket sales because they had to save some for next year.
Huh. Interesting.
They're all in. They're all in. Yeah. How do you know this?
How do you know this? Were there inquiries made?
No, they said it. They said it today and yesterday. Fleming said they had to stop.
Just think about it. You have these executives that are, you know, questioning the Padres, like, I don't know where they're getting this money. But just look at it. If you put the money into the product, look at San Diego now. That first game that Soto played, it was insane. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, not only that, if we wanted to, I mean, we could look it up. I would love to know, what is the Padres' revenue in 2022? Or let's say, Danny, look at their payroll and look at their revenue.
All right.
I'd love to know what percentage of their revenue, because I looked at LA and the Giants. The Giants are spending 47% of their revenue on player payroll. The Dodgers are spending 52% of their revenue on player payroll. I bet you the Padres are spending close to 60, maybe 65% of their revenue on player payroll, because I doubt they could have the revenue that they don't have the Dodgers revenue. Do they have the Giants revenue? That would be my question. I have no concept of what the Padres revenue is.
Oh my God!
You got to think their TV deal and their radio deal smaller. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, for sure. They've got Tatis locked up till 2031. They've got Machado till 2028. They signed Soto to an extension. Like I mean, that's all you need.
Brian Lucena says $282 million in 2021.
Oof.
That's the Padres. That's the Padres. What? That's their payroll. That's their revenue. 282. So 282 last year for the Padres.
I don't think it was that high because this year it's 220 or 211.
Maybe it's to date. Maybe it's to date because last year's done. This year's not done yet.
Well, the beginning of this season, that's what it was.
That's what it was projected as this year. Go to COTS. I'm sure it'll tell you.
Yeah, I did. I'm looking at COTS. 211 was
211 is their revenue.
Opening day.
Payroll.
No, payroll.
And the Giants are 155.
Right.
And I'm looking you shouldn't be 50 million south of the Padres. You can't look your fans in the eye and say we're doing everything we can when you're spending $50 million less than the San Diego Padres. Think about that.
I think it just comes down to ownership willing to take slightly less profits just to put, an exciting product, Like, I'd rather make, say the Giants, I don't know, profit is $100 million, right? Why not take an $80 million profit, invest that extra $20 million to have an exciting product? But I'll leave you guys with that. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good day. Yeah,
great call.
Thanks for jumping in. To me, it really is about that. It's what percentage of your revenue are you spending? And if you're spending, like if the Giants were spending the equal percentage of the Dodgers, they'd have a $20 million more payroll. Instead of 155 on opening day, it would have been 175. It's still not what they should be spending. They should be spending, if they're top 5 revenue or top 6, then spend top 6 in revenue. To me, or have a top 6 payroll. Don't be 13th in payroll and 5th or 6th in revenue. Exactly. That's a bad look. And it's, and it's like you lose your fans a little bit when they feel like, you don't feel the pain of the loss like they feel the pain.
Oh, we got another caller. Hey,
hello.
Who is it?
Welcome to the Krueg Show. What's up?
Yeah, this is Ben Mack from the East Coast. Just curious to see what you all's Mount Rushmore is for San Francisco Giants, minus Willie Mays since he played some in New York.
Minus Willie Mays.
Minus Mays. I like that.
Okay, so I'll put mine together. I've got Barry Bonds.
All right, he just dropped off, but that's a great question.
Okay.
All right,
I'll go with Barry Bonds. Willie McCovey.
Let's all take a second and then let's reveal. Let's do
Okay.
Let's write it down. How much are you going to invest? I'll put that up for 200.
Minus Willie Mays. Okay.
Minus Willie Mays.
Okay.
See that? Here's the thing. Do you take non-Hall of Famers and put them over Hall of Famers?
We're getting
I've got my 4. I've got my 4.
Hold on, Danny. You're
come on, move it, Danny, Pyle. Move it.
A little premature.
It's just.
Let it marinate. Let it marinate, big guy.
It's just
you can run down there and get yourself one, and we can walk down and get them all. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Welcome to the Krueg Show. Who's on the line?
Oh, you guys are great, man. I'm masturbating watching you guys.
Oh,
great.
All right. Well, that was a failed bit. I guess that's why they have call screeners.
Oh, my goodness.
Danny's having his clients now call in.
Oh, unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Man.
You know what? I can't unhear that.
No, you know what? We got to ban Carol from the chat. That is just unacceptable, Carol.
That ain't right. That just wasn't right.
Oh, my God.
That was wrong on so many levels.
Yeah,
okay. Well, interesting. Okay. A little stalled out now. Okay.
Someone says, was that Robert? Oh, come on. Let's not be that hard on Robert.
MF, my little cousin's watching.
MF, my little cousin is watching this. Yeah, exactly. This is a family. This is a family freaking show. Even though I swore like 27 times 3 nights ago, it's a family show.
That might have been the sex bot.
It's a dysfunctional family show, but it's a family show.
Jeez. Oh man!
All right. Okay, Danny, who do you got? Who's on your Mount Rushmore for the Giants?
We just might match, all of us. It'd be interesting. Okay, I got Mount Rushmore. Just to be clear, is 4, right? 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
4.
I just want to make sure. Okay, I got Barry Bonds, Willie McCovey, Buster Posey, and Will the Thrill Clark. That's my 4.
Ryan, what do you got?
All right, I'm going Bonds, Buster, Bumgarner, and McCovey.
All right, I'm going all pitchers. No, I've got Papirski, Fairchild, Padlow, and I'm going old school. One old school vote for Ricky Leday. No. Okay, this is what I got. This is what I'm going with. I'm going with Willie McCovey, number 44.
Yeah.
Just beautiful human being. I loved Willie McCovey. Childhood hero. I'm going with the Dominican dandy, Juan Marichal. If I can't tell you the number of stories my dad told me about Juan Marichal. Larry had 5 pitches, and he threw them from 4 different angles. And he had, he could take, he could add, he could subtract, he could do anything. He could do Gumby. He essentially had like 47 pitches. Juan Marichal. All right, then I'm going with Barry. You got to go with Barry. And then to me, it comes down to who you going with as your non-Hall of Famer. Because Gaylord Perry was a Hall of Famer and Orlando Cepeda was a Hall of Famer, but Orlando won the MVP in St. Louis. Gaylord left the Giants and pitched on a bunch of different teams. So I will take the one and it's like there's a bunch of guys who are that non-Hall of Fame Giant and it's Buster, it's Will, it's Timmy, it's Mad Bum. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with McCovey, Marichal, Bonds, and Will Clark.
I thought
that's blasphemy.
I'm going Will Clark.
No Buster?
Clark.
No Buster's blasphemy.
No, I know.
But mute him, Ryan.
No Buster. That might be mutable, Larry.
Will Clark finished with the Cardinals. Will Clark he walked away from the game to spend time with his autistic child instead of caring about piling up a Hall of Fame resume with fake stats late in his career. And he would have compiled more stats. He hit 345 his last year with the Cardinals. He said, you know what? My boy means more to me.
You can say the same exact thing about Buster.
I'll say this, man. Yeah, exactly. That is so true, Ryan. That is so true.
Yeah.
But to me, that's what makes it so hard because both those guys are such great freaking guys that they both chose like the good of their family over
I would have
adding to their Hall of Fame resume.
We actually had the same.
Buster's going to get there, but Will belong there. I mean, Will was batting. Will was an incredible hitter, incredible fielder. He was a presence. They're both so special, but I got to go Will. I'm going Will the Thrill. McCovey, Marichal, Bonds, and Clark.
It might be actually agreed I'm a younger guy, and like I've seen all these Bay Area championships, but like I'm like you got to have rings guy. You got to have rings, or like an unprecedented career like McCovey or Bonds.
Let's see. You went Bonds, Buster, Bumgarner, and McCovey. And Larry, you went McCovey, Marichal,
Bonds, and Will the Thrill.
See, I would have put on yours. We were the same, but I would have put Buster over Marichal because of what Buster did for San Francisco. 3 world titles, MVP, Rookie of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year twice.
107 in his last year with a poop team.
just not even close to me. What Buster did for the Giants and Marichal. Marichal was a great Giant, but I mean, Buster is the guy that brought the Giants back to prominence.
I think we need to have a walk down memory lane.
Let's do it.
Juan Marichal, the Dominican dandy, born October 20th, same year as my brother, 1937, same year as my father, in Laguna Verde, Dominican Republic.
Wait a minute. Your brother and your dad were born the same year?
My dad was born in 1930. He was born in 1937, the same day as my brother, the same year as my dad.
Okay.
So my dad was born in 1937. My late father. My brother, who's very much still alive, was born on October 20th. Anyway, Marichal debuted in 1960. Played his entire career. He played his entire beginning of his career at the Giants. Didn't play his whole career because I think he finished with the Dodgers and Red Sox and Dodgers. 18 and 11, 25 and 8, 21 and 8, 22 and 13, 25 and 6, 14 and 10, 26 and 9, 21 and 11, 12 and 10, 18 and 11, and then finished with a couple of years, 6 and 16, 11 and 15. That then had a 2.10 ERA in 1969. Made 36 starts that year. Listen to these complete games. 18, 18, 22, 24, 25, 18. In 1968, Juan Marichal had 30 complete games and pitched 325 innings.
That's insane.
The guy was unbelievable.
Won more games than anybody in the 60s.
All-Star game MVP, 1962. Or should I say All-Star game, not All-Star game MVP, All-Star game.
Would you put Marichal above McCovey?
No.
McCovey's a 500 home run guy. But Marichal won 243 games in the big leagues. That's a lot of games. And he finished fifth in the MVP voting in 68. He finished sixth in the MVP voting in 66 66. I mean, you're talking about all-star, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years in a row, and 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 years he was an all-star.
But you're
find me the pitcher that has been an all-star 9 of the last 10 years.
Can't find him.
Yeah.
Maybe Kershaw.
Has Kershaw done that?
Maybe Kershaw. Now, I would say this guy
was a 10-time All-Star. He was the All-Star game MVP. I forgot he was. He also won an ERA title.
I would say this.
We're talking about a 6 foot, 185 pound pitcher.
Your 4 presidents on the Rushmore are not necessarily maybe the greatest presidents. They're the ones that had, impact or did something. That's why I love Marichal over Bumgarner as a career pitcher, but what Bum did in 2014, it's kind of like epic. I mean, unforgettable.
That's putting an awful lot of importance in a very small sample size. I mean, by that comparison, Danny, Oral Hershiser is one of the greatest pitchers of all time too.
Yeah,
and Oral Hershiser was great, but is he one of the greatest of all time, or was he just unbelievable in 1988?
I agree. I just think the pinnacle. What Mad Bud did in 2014, basically carrying the Giants on his back to win the World Series.
He won the Sports Illustrated Man of the Year. He was basically the athlete of the year. That was. I mean, he's probably the greatest postseason pitcher of all time.
Look at this one on the bottom of this is good. Darren Marchant. Now do the 4 worst notable players in Giants history.
Let me see if I can work on that. Okay.
The 4 worst notable. You can't have nobodies who are up for a day.
I mean, I can't just go for this year's roster.
No.
Fairchild, Padlo.
Okay, we'll take it in the chat, but don't tell me Max Venable. Max Venable was damn good. Max was good. You kidding me? Max was
came
fast.
out of the Dodgers organization, actually.
Dude,
I think the Giants got him on the Rule 5.
Don't at me with that Max Venable crap, Donovan. I'll defend Max Venable.
I like Max.
Okay, the fantasy football league is up and running, by the way. So I'll be sending.
Are you going to be commish? Who's going to commish it?
I'll be commish.
You're the commish. Okay.
I'll send
how many teams in the league?
12
teamer. Okay, so it's the 3 of us
plus MF and
plus
Sean
MF
Proctor,
and Sean Proctor,
which
and then
7 spots.
7 spots for the rest. I got to get my buddy Mole. I got to get Mole in the house too. Mole's going to want to be in that.
Mole.
He's not quite MF on the donations, but Mole,
he's a day one.
Mole's somewhat of a made man. Dan Gladden, no way. Dan Gladden was damn good.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one that's interesting. Tom O'Malley.
He wasn't bad.
He wasn't bad. He was slow as molasses. He was. Had no power.
He could hit.
He was a no-tooler.
Okay.
Oh my God, no! Tom
He
O'Malley.
went one of the 4 worst. I could come up with 4 worse.
Well, I mean, we're talking about notable bad Giants.
Somewhat notable.
Okay. Let me think.
Ryan Garko.
He was really. Ricky Leday was horrendous with the Giants. Yeah, I mean, go look it up. It was bad. It was really bad. Pud Fatty says Joe Strain. You know what? I was there on that Friday night when Joe Strain against the Cardinals. Think about this, guys. Joe Strain, guy ripped it in the minor leagues. Danny, you could look his numbers up. They literally traded Joe Strain.
Okay.
You could look up the numbers. He was ripping it in the minors.
Yeah.
Giants brought him up, started doing well in the majors.
Right.
Giants were like, you know what? We don't need Madlock. We'll trade Madlock. So they trade Madlock to the Pirates. Joe Strain, Friday night at Candlestick Park. I was there sitting down the right field line. I can remember like it was yesterday. Play at the plate. He goes in head first into Ted Simmons' knee pads. And that was it. That was it.
He only played 3 years.
Seriously, I think he broke his clavicle, separated his shoulder. I don't think Joe Strain came back from that hit at home plate against Ted Simmons. Ted Simmons was like a rock.
Oh yeah, switch hitting catcher for the Cardinals.
Oh my God, that was the end of Joe Strain. Ted Simmons at the plate. And I don't know if any other Giants fans remember that. I think it was a Friday night game at Candlestick. Play at the plate, head first into Simmons. Boom, done. I don't think he was ever the same.
Yeah.
So, what do you think
Here's
about
a good one. How about Mark Melanson?
Melanson.
Yeah, I put Melanson on there. He gagged for him.
That one's worth writing down.
Yeah, Mark Melanson.
But he didn't want to stretch or whatever. I'll give you another one. Jeff Juden. They used to call him Sasquatch. And I think when the Giants finally got rid of him, he flipped off the team bus. Now, that's pretty rare. You're flipping a bird to the team bus? Sasquatch, Jeff Juden.
Dwayne Kuiper.
Kuiper's a pinch hitter, but I mean, he wasn't.
Would you put Johnny LeMaster on that list?
Johnny LeMaster was an awesome defensive player who just couldn't hit. Just couldn't hit.
That paper bag. I mean, he was
an incredible defensive shortstop.
Yeah, he was. But the fans at the time couldn't handle him.
He had boo on the back of his uniform because he was an easy guy to boo because he hit 200. Yeah. These days, he would probably hit third in the lineup.
Let's see. Who else can I remember that was
I'll tell you another one that they signed. And I'll tell you a couple guys they signed and were just absolute bombs. Rennie Stennett.
Oh, yeah.
Who tore up his knee. He was a great Pirate. He was a terrible Giant. And I remember at the time, they're like, oh, my God, they gave him so much money. Look what it was. If you look it up, it was $600,000.
Yeah.
They gave him $600,000. People were like, they gave him $600,000. Oh, and he sucked.
Yeah.
Rennie Stennett. The other one was Mark Portugal, who was a great Giant killer. And then he came to the Giants and he sucked. I'll give you another guy who
Sidney
sucked.
Ponson didn't do too great for the Giants either.
I did the interview with Sidney Ponson after the playoff loss.
Yeah, against Miami.
I was the first guy in the clubhouse. And he's like, all right, let's do this. And so I look around, there's nobody else there. I'm just the only guy. So I go, Sydney, obviously things didn't go the way you wanted it. Talk to us a little bit about your outing. And he just looks right at me and he goes, my ass just got lit up. He goes, my ass just got lit up. And he kept saying it. My ass just got lit up. And so that was the cut. And I had it, brought it back to the radio station. They're like, let's hear what Sidney Ponson said after the game. My ass just got lit up. And the way he said it, it was awesome. You had to be there. That was a great one.
How about
Jose Cruz? Somebody said Pud Fatty says Jose Cruz. Jose Cruz won the Gold Glove.
Yeah,
he dropped the ball in the playoffs.
That one ball, yeah.
He was a playoff goat, but he won the Gold Glove.
How about
Casey Jose Cruz Jr. too? He was fun to watch.
How about Casey McGee?
Definitely Casey McGee. They traded Luis Castillo to get him.
Oh God!
Think about that.
Look at Luis Castillo pitched shutout ball again last night.
I'll give you another one. Dan Ugla.
Yeah, he only played. Did he even play a week or so with the Giants?
Really bad. I'll give you another one. There was a guy that lit it up in spring training for the Giants, and
Randy Elliott.
Randy Elliott. He hit 600 in spring training. He dropped a fly ball on opening day. 3 weeks later, he was banished, never to be heard from again.
Hey, if Barry Zito didn't pitch that Game 5 in St. Louis, he would be on that list.
I'll give you one. J.R. Phillips.
Yeah.
J.R. Phillips. I mean, he had great glove, but man, he just could not hit.
How
hit
about
at all.
Chris Shaw? He never did anything for the Giants.
Yeah, but he just didn't make it. I mean,
he was the number one draft pick, though. And he's
No, he wasn't.
Yeah,
he
wasn't.
He wasn't.
Number one pick.
I don't think so, Danny. I think he was more like second or third round.
Honestly, I like McCutchen, but seriously, in terms of what we were expecting, kind of disappointing.
I mean, there's been others. Skip James. Do you guys remember Skip James? Some guy says he was a late first, but I don't think he was their first round pick. I don't think he was their highest pick that year.
Who, Shaw?
Yeah, Calba says he was a late first rounder.
Yeah, he was picked in the first round, but he was drafted. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Giants first round, 31st in 2015. I don't know if the Giants had another.
It's hard to remember guys who were bad because you just forget about them through the years.
Yeah.
It's I mean, they had so many guys that were not that good in the 70s and stuff, but I don't know. I looked at the 77 roster the other day. I was talking to somebody in Twitter, and I said, the Giants, talking about comparing them to this year and saying something about 77 team is bad. And I said, the 77 team had Herndon, and it had Gary Matthews,
Darrell Evans,
and it had Evans and Jim Barr, and it had Monfusco,
Halicki,
and it had Jack
Gary
Clark,
Lavelle, Randy Moffett,
Clark, Greg Minton. It had some guys,
Oh, here's one. Oh, not him. Here we go. Kyle Martinez, Matt Moore. He
almost had that no-hitter in Dodger Stadium. He was 1 out away, and that liner to right field that just kind of got down before. I don't remember who was playing right field that night, but it was
Hunter Strickland.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one right there.
Yeah, Hunter Strickland. Yeah, broke his hand punching a wall.
There was a bunch that definitely Armando Benitez. I mean, literally, he just kept going further and further south. There's always a lot of bullpen guys. There's always a lot of bullpen guys who kind of come to mind.
Kelly Downs wasn't one of the worst four. He actually
Kelly Downs won 13 or 14 games. How about Levon? He lost Game 7 of the World Series.
He shouldn't have pitched.
Should have given it to Reeder.
Yeah,
they went with Levon. I told you that story.
Yeah.
How Dusty said that, I could have gone with Reeder, but I would have lost Levon. So I knew if I went with Levon, I wouldn't lose Reeder. So I figured I went 2 for 1. Yeah. That is not necessarily good logic right there. I'll tell you, Kim Batiste struggled bad. 96, Giants had some really, really bad players. Second half of 96, Kim Batiste, I remember everything he hit hard was foul.
Yeah. They had that shortstop, Metzger.
Roger Metzger.
Yeah.
I hate to say this one. Somebody says Jesse Foppert. Jesse Foppert was just Baseball America fell in love with Jesse Foppert. They really thought he was going to be great.
Who's your, let's see. I know you didn't like Ron Fairley, but.
Here's a good one. Nafi Perez. Nafi Perez was not a great Giant.
Oh, who's your top?
Jose Guillen.
All right, this is
a great Giant.
Let's switch this a little bit. Let's pick your Mount Rushmore of Giants announcers and Giants managers.
In history?
Just SF.
Isn't there not that many though?
There's not that many.
Yeah,
Giants announcers.
But four.
I mean, you got to put Lon.
Yeah,
Lon's
Lon
on
is
there.
definitely Lon goes on there. Yeah,
Lon's on there, and then now Russ Hodges.
Russ Hodges,
right,
and then you got to pick between Kipe and Miller,
Greenwald,
David
Glass.
Nah, I didn't like Dave Glass.
I'm just joking, but John Miller is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So I would go Lon, Russ, John, and Kipe.
You also had in that era. You also had Al Michaels, but he was only there for.
Oh yeah, you got Al Michaels. Yeah, Al Michaels. You probably got to go Al Michaels. Actually, sorry, Kipe. Kipe's moving away for Al Michaels. But I mean, Kipe had longevity. You also had Joe Morgan was a Giants announcer.
Yeah, and you got
Joe Morgan was a national announcer. I mean, Hank Greenwald was a tremendous announcer.
Right. You had
Wayne Hagan,
Lindsey Nelson. Yeah.
Lindsey Nelson, Ron Fairley,
Joe Angel.
Put it on the win column. Put it in the win column.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. Bill King actually spent a little time with the Giants in the late 50s, I believe.
Ted Robinson.
60s. Yeah, Ted Robinson was another. Yeah, I like Ted.
I didn't know that Ted Robinson did Giants baseball.
Yeah. And, Lon moved over and did the A's, and then fortunately
Dennis Higgins. Someone says Dennis Higgins. That's good knowledge. Steve Physiok, Gary Park.
Oh yeah, Steve Physiok. That's right. Gary Park. Yeah,
Gary Park on TV. A couple people saying Gary Park. This guy had a great tan. I mean, maybe the greatest.
Yeah.
He was like who's that? Who's that guy who just has ridiculous tan?
Kyle Shanahan's dad, Mike Shanahan.
Yeah, Mike Shanahan's got a great tan.
Reminded me of Pat Boone. Kind of looked like Pat Boone.
Yeah,
just had that gray
hair. He's a good-looking man. He had an incredible tan.
Yeah, he had
one of the greatest
gray
tans
hair early in life, and he had the nice tan, and he was Gary Park.
Okay, so now you're going managers, and they've had a lot of great managers, but I think you got to go. You got to go Boch for sure. You got to go Cap. No, I would say you got to go Boch for sure.
I'm going Boch.
Leo DeRocher. We're going just SF only.
Just SF. I got Roger Craig on there.
Got to go Roger Craig, the hum baby.
Might have to go Frank Robinson. Let me think. I'm trying to think I'm going from.
I mean, I personally like Joe Altobelli. I think he was tremendous. 1978 Altobelli.
Orioles. Yeah, he came out of the Orioles organization.
Dusty.
Who was the manager in 71? Was it Herman Franks?
I think it was Alvin Dark, maybe.
Or was it Alvin Dark?
It might have been Herman Franks. So it's tough because to me, I mean,
they haven't had a lot of great managers. They really haven't.
I feel like maybe the better question is just Bay Area managers, Mount Rushmore, and then I would say Bochy, Kerr,
Tony La Russa. Manager baseball? You're talking about baseball?
No, just Bay Area. Bochy, Kerr,
coaches. Where's Bill Walsh?
Oh yeah, Bill Walsh, obviously, and then honestly, the fourth spot is a tough one. I guess maybe either La Russa or I mean, Shanahan has a chance.
Harbaugh was 44-19.
Yeah,
How do you go with Shanahan, who's sub 500?
I think if I'm going any of all sports, I'm putting Walsh, Kerr, Bochy. That's 3.
Yeah, and then it's
you kind of
La Russa.
have to go with La Russa.
You got to go with La Russa. He's the third winningest manager in the history of baseball.
Yeah,
He started here.
Yeah, you'd have to go La Russa.
Yeah, but what about John
Some people
Madden?
would say Tara Vanderveer.
What about John Madden?
Oh,
Yeah, what about John Madden? If you're just going total career, his
I think
impact
John
on
Madden-
football, now his coaching career, you would definitely go.
He's the most winningest coach of all time, right?
well,
By
Tom
percentage.
Flores had a
I
pretty
mean-
good winning percentage too, and he won 2 Super Bowls.
George Seifert.
Yeah, George won 2 Super Bowls. Gosh, now that's a guy that he went to Carolina after
Al
he didn't do
Attles.
too well. Al Attles.
Don Nelson. How about Nelly? Where's Nelly on that thing?
I don't
you've
think
had some. He doesn't.
Nelly, I mean, in some ways, look, let's be honest here. Now, this is another one that kind of rankles me. Okay. Don Nelson is the true genius.
Yeah,
He's the guy
changed
that
basketball.
drafted Sprewell, drafted Mitch Richmond, drafted Tim Hardaway, drafted Chris Mullen. He is he didn't draft Chris Mullen. He inherited Chris Mullen, excuse me. But he drafted the rest of those guys. Drafted Gatling late, traded for Dirk Nowitzki for tractor trailer, added Steve Nash and Dirk in Dallas. And then, I know Larry Riley is the guy who's credited, but Larry Riley worked for Don Nelson. Before he ever came to the Warriors, he worked for Don Nelson in Dallas. Yes, Larry may have had the title at the time, but don't tell me, there's nothing you can tell me that will convince me that Larry Riley didn't get Don Nelson's seal of approval and endorsement on Steph Curry. We always credit Larry Riley with that pick because he had the title, but Nelly was a ridiculous, awesome personnel guy who Larry Riley worked for and with.
Hey, Larry.
This idea that it was Larry Riley, I've interviewed Larry Riley. I talked to him about it many, many times. He told me him and Nelly had conversations about Steph. Don't tell me that it was all Larry Riley. It was Don Nelson's genius that made them. And Don Nelson's balls, because Curry didn't want to play for the Warriors, didn't work out for the Warriors, didn't want to be drafted by the Warriors. And Nelly and his stubbornness was the one that said, you know what, F them. I'm drafting Steph Curry. I don't care what he wants. I don't care what Dell wants. I don't care what the agent wants. I think Steph's the best. I'm going with Steph. Now, Larry Riley may have had the GM position, and so out of respect, we got to give him the call. But in reality, Nelly was right there. And you telling me that this genius, awesome personnel guy who did it in Dallas, did it with the Warriors, did it in Milwaukee, made all these incredible basketball moves, but he didn't have a hand in drafting Steph Curry. Come on.
Well,
Nelly deserves the credit just with Larry Riley.
Hey, Don Nelson
they were both
was
at the top of the organization.
But if we're talking Mount Rushmore, it becomes an interesting question because it's like a John Madden versus Don Nelson. I mean, John Madden had 9 years and has the highest winning percentage ever and has a Super Bowl. But Nelly's technically he has the most wins of any coach, but you could also say he's a bit of a compiler.
I just think Nelly's. I mean, is Kerr a better coach than Nelly?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think so. I know he's got the rings. If we're just counting rings, I can count 2. But Nelly, come on, Nelly was a great coach. Nelly was an innovator.
He's the one that changed the game more than you talk about the Warriors.
He's the winningest coach in the history of the NBA, isn't he?
Well, okay, but you also rail on people that kind of compile stats and
but my point is Avery Johnson won the title with Dallas with Nelly's team. Nelly built that team. That was Nelly's team. That's like saying that Seifert won the Super Bowl.
In 89.
The Super Bowl in 89. It's like, but come on. That's credited to Bill Walsh. Why? It was Walsh's team.
Right.
Seifert took it over and won it. That's like saying Barry Switzer won in 95. No, he didn't. It was Jimmy Johnson's team. Jimmy Johnson's teams won 3 Super Bowls. That's the truth. Now, Barry Switzer gets credit for one of them, but it doesn't change the facts. And all I'm saying is Nelly's career as a coach, pretty spectacular, man. Pretty spectacular. And if you really separate, are you telling me that Don Nelson would not have won titles with Steph and Clay and Draymond? And I'm not buying that either.
He coached for 33 years and didn't win a title and had a few teams
that saying Avery Johnson. First of all, look at the teams that beat Nelly in his heyday. Some of those great Bucks teams, 83 Sixers, 86 Celtics. I mean, we're talking about some of the greatest teams in the history of the NBA that beat the Bucks. And the Bucks, I don't know that any of those years were really the best. And then, the year that Avery won, that was Nelly's team. And look, I mean, Nelly has a history of taking bad teams and making them good and not good teams and making them champions. But look at his personnel value. Look at his moves. I mean, outside of Mitch Richmond for Billy Owens, I mean, the guy made some incredible moves. So I don't know.
All right.
I'm a Nelly head.
Be careful.
Hey, I saw him in Hawaii. He looked awesome. He got a long hair and a chain.
Hi.
Hey.
Back again. Just calling to ask you, I don't understand what the Mission Rock project is.
Larry, you want to take that one?
Well, the Mission Rock project is the land south of the parking lot that all those buildings are being renovated, and there's a lot of building going up south of the ballpark. And I think some of it is taken on Mission Rock as the project. And I'm not sure exactly how many of those blocks are tied to that, but you can Google it. Just Google it. I'm sure you'll find it.
There's developments. There's housing going in there. There's
multi-purpose development. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about real estate development on the
property also.
The Giants owners are a group of 30 individuals, and a group of those people own a big part of that. So they're well positioned financially because of owning their own ballpark, but also because they own a huge lot of real estate in the city.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one. Appreciate it. Oh, that's a very concise question there.
Just a nice question.
Yeah.
Just
Any other callers, call the line, 510-823-0534.
Larry, you could also make the argument that Al Davis built those Raider teams and just installed John Madden.
Well, yeah, I mean, no question. I wouldn't argue that Al Davis wasn't a genius personnel guy. There's no question he was. But Al Davis wasn't a coach the way that Don Nelson was a coach. He's not like the winningest coach. I mean, imagine if Al Davis also, was like the winningest coach in NFL history.
But that
would be a good comparison.
Like John Madden is the winningest coach in NFL history
by percentage.
For 9 years.
By percentage, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Al Davis was great as well, but I'm just saying we put Kerr up there because of the rings. I mean, I don't know. Is that the end all be all? Is it rings? Is that simple as that?
Kind of is. I mean, because I feel like Mark, there is a little bit of a difference.
By that definition, Bill Russell's the best NBA player in history.
Yeah, but the rules weren't the same with the 12 teams.
Charles Haley is the best football player in history.
But the positions don't impact it in the same. Like it
Billy Martin or somebody like that might be one of them. I mean, is one of the best baseball. I mean, it's in team sports. It's really difficult to. I mean, there are guys. Jeff Hostetler has a Super Bowl win. Trent Dilfer has a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
Dan Marino has no Super Bowl win. But nobody would ever say that those guys are better than Marino.
Yeah, but also it's like Kerr's never lost a series in the Western Conference playoffs in his whole career. Like, that's pretty shocking.
I'm not saying, believe me, I'm not saying Kerr's a bad coach. I think Kerr's a great coach. But is he better? Is he a better coach than Don Nelson? Or did he have better players?
I think there maybe is a different skill set. Like the way Mark Jackson kind of built the team up, and then it's like they needed to. Then there's like you needed to hand it off to the guy that's going to be able to manage the personalities and the ebbs and flows and all that. Like maybe Don Nelson's expertise was a little bit more in terms of like building teams up, but not necessarily like I don't know.
So what was if we looked at just overall, like since 19? Well, Larry, you were born what, around 70?
1970.
Okay, I was born in 61. So, Rye, you don't go as far back, but what do you think has been the best year for Bay Area sports? Like combining
for each team?
Just the best year the Bay Area experienced overall in sports combined.
I would say 1993. Now, I know 89 would be the answer for a lot of people. Giants and A's both went to the World Series. Niners were incredible. Raiders were probably good that year, too. I would say 93 because 93 Warriors, that was the Weber-Nelly team. That team was incredible. 93 Giants won 103 games. Dusty's first year, Barry Bonds' first year. So as far as entertainment, and then the Niners in the 90s, and that was when Joe Montana got traded to Kansas City. Steve Young was, losing to the Cowboys, but they won the next year. I mean, the Niners were easily the biggest show in the NFL. The Niners Cowboys in 1993 was the biggest thing in the NFL. The Giants won 103 games that year. Easily the best season in Giants baseball history in my lifetime at that point. And the Warriors were the most fun team they had ever been. They had Weber and Spree and Owens, and they went up tempo and Avery. And I mean, that team was fun. So, I mean, and that team, you got to remember at that point, we didn't know, PJ was going to get choked out by Spree, Nelly, and Weber were going to butt heads. All we knew was we had this beautiful young basketball team, and we have the best team in pro football and 103 win Giant team. I'll take 93 over every year.
As Justin Kerwin said, my answer 2012, where it's like the most craziest ever Giants World Series run.
The Niners lost the
Niners great run to the Super Bowl, and then lost to the Ravens, and then it was the coming.
That was an incredibly fun year, I will say that.
And then the coming out party for Curry in the playoffs, and taking the Spurs to 6.
I mean, the most fun I think I've ever had covering sports was Niners Ravens Super Bowl in New Orleans.
Oh yeah,
were you there? We flew into New Orleans. We flew into New Orleans on a Sunday night. I was doing a 9 a.m. to noon Pacific show, so then we're in the Central Time Zone.
So you had Super Bowl week there?
Yeah. So the show that we were doing was 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., which is the absolute perfect time to be on the radio if you're in New Orleans drinking like a fish till 6 a.m. And Gary didn't go. And then so I was playing it up that we were gonna, that we were gonna stay out all night. And then I'm like, guys, we gotta make this, instead of just playing it up as a bit, we gotta do it for real. So then we went out every single night in the quarter. Just drink after drink. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, and the week got more and more and more. It builds, right? People are flying into town Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then, I mean, that was incredible. Of course, when the Niners lost, we couldn't get out of there fast enough. I was like, let's get the hell out of here. But the week leading up to that game, that was epic. That was epic.
And then I would say not even close the most painful in my life, if we're doing the opposite, is 2016. 2016, it was so freaking fun. And then low in that. And then also the Niners were horrible with Chip Kelly, won 2 games. And then the Giants gave us a little even year magic cock tease versus the Cubs. And then they stole our magic and won the World Series.
I do have a great story from the French Quarter, though. So we're in the piano bar at Pat O'Brien's. It's me. It's Chris Townsend. We're throwing drinks back. A fight starts, right? A fight starts, and there's this big hullabaloo. Guys are throwing blows. And I grabbed one of the guys, pulled him back, and I think Downey might have grabbed the other guy. It turns out it's a father and a son fighting each other.
No way.
Yes. The father was like in his 60s. The son was kind of a dweeb, but he was like in his 40s. And they're fighting each other in this bar. And they go up to the dad. And so the cops show up. We separate the two guys. The cops show up and they go to the dad. And they're like, he's like, the cop goes, wait a second, that's your son? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, so that's your dad? And he's like, yeah. And everybody's standing around. And all of a sudden, the cop looks at the dad and goes, well, sir, he assaulted you, because the dad was kind of bleeding a little bit by the mouth. He's like, sir, he assaulted you. What should we do with him? And it was like they put a spotlight on this guy in the bar. Everybody's head turns to the left to look at the dad. There's this like dramatic pause for like seriously 5 to 8 seconds. And the guy he pushes his fist in the air and he goes, throw his fucking ass out. And then the whole bar goes, yeah. And the cops take away and the guy's like, Dad. And I'm like, man, only in New Orleans, man. Only in New Orleans would two guys get in a fight and wind up being a son and his father. And then the dad said, throw his fucking ass out. And he's like, arrest him.
That's so good. Dude, the story was great too.
It was incredible. I'm sitting there. I was looking at Townsend. Townsend was looking at me. We just started laughing. Like, dude, how trashy is that? Just the trashiest moment in the history of New Orleans.
I want to get down there so bad.
I just saw an article here. Forbes put out America's best sports cities from 2020. Where do you think they got the Bay Area?
2020 best sport. Why 2020?
No, not 20. Just overall. Since this was done in 2020, but they're going back to the history. 100
what
years.
Is this, a Bleacher Report article?
Yeah, what do you got there?
Forbes. It's a Forbes, and it just says what's the best sports cities, and they're not
best sports city in America.
They're not ranking them by titles.
Yeah.
I would say Chicago, man.
I'd say
Chicago's a great sports city. The Cubs, the Sox, the Bears, the Bulls, the Blackhawks, the sports radio. They've got
this article has Boston. It says the Bruins, Celtics, Patriots, and Red Sox. They got total champions.
But those people get annoying. They get they're just so the most annoying fans. I mean, the FU Draymond in the finals with his kid and sitting right there. That's bad. That's
and they
bad.
got Philadelphia 2. They got the Bay Area. San Francisco Bay Area is 3. What I love
Bay
about
Area's
this,
3 and Philly's 2.
Yeah, they just this is what they just there's no written article. They're just ranking teams.
I'll tell you the worst sports city is probably Atlanta.
4. Let's see.
I mean, they don't sell out playoff games.
They got Minnesota 5, Dallas 6, Detroit 7, Denver 8, Miami 9, LA 10, New York, New Jersey 11. Interesting. I would have had them higher. I would have had New York up in around 5. Washington 12. Let's see. Phoenix 13. What'd you say? Atlanta?
Atlanta's a terrible sports
16,
town.
Houston 17, Toronto 18, Atlanta 19, Charlotte 20, Tampa Bay. That's it. Rounded out the top 20. Interesting stuff. That's just somebody else's stuff. But I always find the stuff fascinating. I was trying to think, we talked about the Bay Area. What was the best year? I was actually trying to think, and I can't think what.
J49 says he's never heard me cuss. He's never heard me swear.
I guess he just joined the show about 5 minutes ago.
It's called the FCC. You'd be surprised when they're sitting there with $100,000 fines what you won't say.
Yeah. I was trying to think, what's the best year that any city had in sports? Is there any city that won
79 Pirates won. That was that's We Are Family. 79 Steelers were the champions. I think 79 Penguins might have been the champions.
Really? And
I'm
they
not
don't
sure
have a
about that. I'm
basketball
not sure
team.
about that. I don't think so. But I definitely Steelers and Pirates in 79.
Tampa Bay the Lightning and the Bucks won.
Yeah, there's been
and the
several
Rays were pretty
teams that have
good.
done like two.
Yeah,
You know,
St. Louis did it.
Grabbed two. The Bay Area's grabbed a couple.
Not same year though.
Yeah,
we forgot also 2016 Sharks lost in the Stanley Cup.
89. The A's won the World Series and the Niners won the Super Bowl. That's the same general area. But I was trying to think. I thought there was a team that did.
I'll say this: the '84 Cubs. The Cubs have been terrible forever. The mid '80s, you had the '84 Cubs. You had the '85 Bears,
right?
And then you had Jordan coming on the scene. Think about that,
right?
Yeah,
'85 Bears. The arrival of Michael Jordan and the '84 Cubs. That '84 Cubs team. Ned Colletti worked for them. And that's when they traded for Sutcliffe, Joe Carter, and Mel Hall for Rick Sutcliffe. He went 16-1.
How did
Talk
you
about
feel?
Your hired gun? And they went to the playoffs with Sandberg.
How did you feel about that
Padres
88
and Garvey?
How did you feel about that 88 NFC Championship when 49ers went into Chicago with a 10-6?
The greatest game in Niner history.
Yeah. Did you think they had a shot? I didn't think they would win that game. I was shocked. They won 23-0, I think.
No, it was 28-3. But you know what? That was the greatest game in Niner history. And I've interviewed Eddie D about this, and he agreed. I mean, he said it was the most miserable day of all time. It was just freezing cold.
Yeah, it was a horrible day.
And the Niners rolled in there, and the Bears were a great team.
Yeah.
And the Niners smoked them. But that was the greatest end to a Niner game I can remember in a lot of ways. If you love like smash mouth football, because the Niners were called finesse, and the Bears were the big bad Chicago Bears. And Bill Walsh put an exclamation point on that game. The greatest exclamation point I think I've ever seen a Niner team put on a team. I mean, we know about the catch and we know about the touchdown, the drive, John Taylor, Dwight Clark, but that game was iced 3rd and 13, and Walsh ran Tom Rathman off tackle for 14 yards and a first down, and they ran out the clock on the big bad Bears in their backyard in freezing conditions.
In terms of satisfying, you're saying was the best game ever.
Well, yeah. I mean, talk about venue, the difficulty. You got to remember this. The Niners had lost in '86 and '87, both times to the New York Giants. Both times only scored 3 points. One time it was 17-3. The other time it was like 49-3. They had not been able to go on the road in cold weather and win a playoff game. They lost at RFK in '83. They won the Super Bowl in '84, but they lost to the Giants in '85. They lost to the Giants in '86. They lost to the Vikings in '87. This was 1988, and they had lost a lot of playoff games, and they needed this one. And they go into Soldier, and they outmuscled the Bears for the right to go to the Super Bowl and just dominated them. It was incredible, absolutely incredible. That team got so hot at the end of the year they were going to beat anybody. And then the Bengals, that Bengals team that the Niners beat in Super Bowl 23, that was probably the best team the AFC had put in the Super Bowl in 15 years. I mean, it probably the best. I mean, well, I say 15 years. That was Super Bowl 23. I would say about 10 years. Because Super Bowl 13 and 14, the Steelers that went to the Super Bowl in 13 and 14, that was the last big-time AFC team until the Bengals in Super Bowl 23, and the Niners found a way to win that game. That was an incredible game.
I mean, there was last year was pretty incredible in Lambeau. That was insane. Also.
I'll tell you, too, there's a little secret that nobody knows, and I only know this because my buddy was the D-line coach for the Bengals in that game. But you know who secretly helped win that game for the 49ers? Was Michael Carter. the old nose guard, because what happened is the Bengals got down on the line of scrimmage. It was 3rd and 1, and Michael Carter got on the ear of Dave Remington, the center. And as Esiason is trying to take the snap, Carter starts screaming the count in Remington's ear, and he couldn't hear Esiason, and he snapped the ball, and Esiason fumbled it. They fumbled the snap. They fell on the snap, the Bengals did, but it made them kick a field goal instead of get the first down and go for the touchdown. They kicked the field goal, and that left the game there for the taking. And then Montana took 3 minutes and 20 seconds and went down and did his thing. But Michael Carter blew up that last play by screaming the cadence into Dave Remington's ear. And, my buddy Bill Urbanek, who was the Bengals D-line coach, was like, it won the game for him. Absolutely won the game for him. Wow. I mentioned it to Dennis Brown a couple of years ago. Someday when I get Michael Carter, if we get Michael Carter this year or at some point, some 49er, who was on that line, we'll talk about that.
I think probably the best game of my life was the Saints game. Alex Smith, the catch 3, I guess you'd say.
Oh, against
when Vernon Davis just ran off Davis, and then that game was insane. That was an unbelievable game. It was like there was like 4 or 5 touchdowns in the last like 3 minutes.
That was probably one of the best games I've ever seen. Yeah, the Bears. Remember the old, somebody put in there, I can't find the comment. There it is. Spencer Stewart. Larry, can you do Dennis Green there?
What do we got?
Can you do the imitation there of Dennis Green? I could try it. Let me see. It started off.
They are who we thought they were. Crown their ass.
He says, the Bears are who we thought they are. Yeah, we played them in preseason 3 times, or we saw them at 3rd down. The Bears are who we thought we were. And he goes on and on. He goes, the Bears are who we thought they were. Now, if you want to crown them. Smacks the mic.
How about this, guys? As some Giants fan therapy session. Just remember this. I was trying to, we were doing research for these Mount Rushmores and whatnot, and I stumbled across an old Bill Simmons column from 2010 where he ranked the most tortured teams in all of professional sports, and he had.
Do you have the Warriors on there?
2015 was the Mariners Seahawks, then the Trailblazers, then the Eagles, Jets, Cavs, Buffalo Sabres, Knicks, Toronto Maple Leafs, San Francisco Giants, 6. He says last title, never unless you count 54, which was in New York.
Games. What year was that written? What year is this article written?
2010.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and then Indians, Browns, Bills, Vikings, Cubs. But, that's how bad it was. And we had 3, and we just won 3 World Series. So,
and, getting to that point, when you think about that, I think the ownership group feels like that's bought them 10, 15 years or something.
It has, honestly.
It has, but now you got fans that want more and don't want to settle because this is San Francisco. This isn't you won 3 titles in Kansas City Royals. The Royals were a very competitive team in the George Brett year. They were in the playoffs every year. But now baseball's changed with all of this extra money, and there's no caps, real cap, and there's no revenue sharing like the NFL. So the Royals are, kind of that small market, can't really compete. They kind of have to do it through their farm system.
My 5588 says, Big Lair's back. Why were you so late? Stuck in Farhan hell? You know what? So I worked at 95.7 The Game today between noon and 3 with Guru. And it was that one day that you get in the city every 5-6 weeks. And what I mean by it is it took me 90 minutes to get from Battery and Broadway to the bridge.
Oh my goodness.
90 minutes.
Just after 3 o'clock, just after 3 too, huh?
90 minutes at 3 o'clock.
Oh,
4:30. I left right at 3 o'clock. At 4:30, I got on the bridge.
Ugh.
Sick. Absolutely sick. It was just ridiculous. That's why I was so late.
That's when
I would have been way later if the game hadn't been a marathon. How long was today's game?
Long ass game.
3.5 hours? 4 hours?
4:30. It went past 4:30. I think about 4.
The Mariners game Yankees started at the same time, and that game finished when
Who won that game, by the way?
Mariners.
Good.
Guys, we've been going for almost 2 hours here. Let's finish with this one. Question. We'll throw one more question out there. Who is most likely to win the next championship for the Bay Area?
Oh, I love
Warriors.
Next championship. This last one doesn't count.
No, I'm saying next one, Warriors.
You going Warriors? Warriors?
I think they're going back to back.
It's got to be the Warriors, I guess.
Niners have a championship roster.
Yeah,
They
I think
do.
the Niners
Do you
can
believe
do
in
it
Trey
too.
Lance? Do you believe in Kyle Shanahan?
I think
I-
Lance is a year away.
Do you
I think
believe
the
in
Niners will have to
Do you
win it
believe
this-
in- Do you
this
believe
year.
in Papirski?
I think the Niners will have to win it this year because I think the Warriors are going to repeat.
It won't be the Giants, you would think.
No.
Well, wait. Robert Rothberg earlier, before we actually thought we were
we just have to
live,
win 40 of the next
he
51.
said they just have to win 40 of the next 51, and they can
People
do
are
it.
weighing in Warriors.
The Warriors have one. They're going to win one out of the next 3.
I think they're gonna win
Niners-
one of the next 2.
The Niners,
If the Warriors don't win one of the next 2, I don't know if they'll.
Spencer
win-
Stewart
win
says the
another.
A's.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
See, I think if the Warriors don't win one of the next 2, I think they'll have a hard time winning again with Steph because Steph.
You don't think the Niners are going to win it this year?
I think they have a good shot. I really do. I'm more on the optimistic side with the Niners. I picked them to go 13-4 in our game by game, and you said 11-5, Larry. And the reason I did 13-4 is because I think their defense is going to be so solid and keep them in every game.
Did you
And
see Charvarius Ward already dealing with a little something?
Oh yeah, just a leg.
I saw that he's going to be out for a few weeks, huh?
Two weeks, they said.
Both
it's-
Niners starting corners are out. Monty Pritchett says Warriors minus 230, Niners plus 150, Giants plus 550.
Those
the
are
odds right
some
now?
good. That's pretty accurate.
Is that Monty? Is that Monty's casino?
Niners plus 150 on the Niners is not bad.
What's the best bet there of what Monty offered? Would you rather have Warriors at minus 230, Niners at plus 150, or Giants plus 550?
I take
Well,
the 49ers.
you see, Monty. The one thing that you're not factoring in is that, and maybe he is, but just the fact that the Niner season is about to start. So, like, they automatically get an extra shot at it, technically.
Right, because they're first. They get the first. Yeah. They've got the first opportunity.
Oh no, they don't. The Giants got the chance. They are
stop.
the Giants. Hey, don't give up on the Giants, people.
Stop.
Let me pull the fork out of them, okay?
Did you?
MF, by the way, you're scaring us with your violent nature. MF says Tim Ryan coming on the Krueg show would be legendary. MF, we already discussed this. Tim Ryan's coming on. Give us 10 days, 2 weeks. He'll be here. Trust me. Already talked to him. He's like, bro, just call me, bro. Just call me.
Niners should have won the Super Bowl last year.
We'll get him on. We'll get him on for sure. I don't know if he'll be on live, but we'll get him on tape for sure.
Niners, I had 100-1 to win the Super Bowl last year, and just kicking the nads. Didn't hedge. Danny, what?
Here's the question. I don't know what happened to Dan. Dan, what happened? Well, here's the question. Who's the number one contender? If the Niners are, if you're afraid of the Niners not winning the Super Bowl this year, who do you think who stands in their way? Who really, and when I say that, I mean you got to first think in the conference. Who's the team that you like in the conference?
Well, I'll tell you
More
what.
than the 49ers.
I'm down on the Cardinals. I'm down on the Seahawks. And then with this Matt Stafford news, makes me start to question the Rams a little bit. But I still think the Rams have a better shot of winning the division than the Niners. And then
it's a pretty lean, NFC. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at quarterbacks, definitely. I mean, I'm not really afraid of anyone except for maybe Brady and the Rams.
I asked Adam Kaplan today. We had Adam Kaplan on the show with me and Goo on 95.7 The Game. I said, who's the team that stands between the Niners and the Bowl in the NFC? Guess what he said?
Don't tell me the Cowboys.
No.
Who stood between
themselves?
You asked him what? What was that again, Larry? I
asked Adam Kaplan today, who's a really sharp guy. I said, who's the team that stands between the 49ers and the Super Bowl in the NFC? Who's going to prevent them from winning in the NFC? In other words, who's the best team in the NFC?
And he maybe he went with the Eagles?
No, it's either the Bucs or the
Eagles. Really?
Well, I thought a surprise. I mean, the obvious to me would be the Bucs.
Yeah, he went with the Bucs.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought he was picking somebody like obscure, like besides the Bucs.
No, he went
with the Bucs. He went with the Bucs. He says the word out of Tampa is that the Bucs defense is better than their championship defense.
Yeah, but at the same time, they lost Ryan Jensen already, and there's already. I feel like there is a little bit of weirdness.
I can't get this fork out of here.
You ruined a Giant shirt to make a point on the stream.
Let me see if I can get it out. It's in too deep, guys.
Be careful, Danny. We hate to see you at Scottsdale General just because
I think the Giants are.
How exactly would you explain that if you stabbed yourself?
Well, I was putting a fork in the Giants.
See, what happened is I was doing a live stream and I put a fork in a Giants T-shirt, and I didn't realize my arm was on the other side. And I jammed it into my arm, and that's why. Could you imagine if you lost the arm?
Could you imagine if he did it? Because he was doing he was vigorously poking it.
You have to go around. People say, "What happened to your arm? What happened? Was it a war thing? Did you fight in WW2?" And you'd be like, "No, I was on the Krueg show on a live stream, and I stabbed a T-shirt for effect, and my arm was on the other side. I punctured it. I cut a crucial artery." And they had to amputate.
Could you imagine
the other day?
We thought we were recording, but we weren't.
I saw a thing the other day on Facebook.
Yeah, seriously, are we recording?
This guy was on the dock, and he was reeling in this. It was like I don't know if it was some kind of shark or something, but he had it, and he tried to grab it from the dock, and it grabbed his pinky, and he was yank on it, and he pulled it away, and he. Like, oh, my finger's gone. Oh, F. He's like, F my finger. He actually, you could see the blood all over the shark. It just went all over his face. It shot.
I think I saw that.
Oh gosh, he just like lost his finger. It's just
telling you, man.
Yeah,
it's rough on those streets. J Stamps 101. How's the Krueg Show health plan? Yeah, not good.
Larry, we were saying I think I said this a couple weeks ago.
Eddie Flores is going to say that damn Krueg Show. The doctors are going to say.
We get the pro football.
Where's my benefits?
3 happen and like breaking it down. Yeah,
Danny, do it for the subscription growth. I mean, come on.
What? Stab the shirt again?
Stab yourself in the arm for. I mean, we're gonna get. You know how many people would join the club? You know how many subscribers?
Hey, you know what I was trying to do, but I didn't have time for effect.
You know how many views I would get?
I wanted to put some ketchup behind this and just like stab it and have it just squirt out and stuff. But
now, give us the real reason that's the shirt. Is it too snug?
Actually, I didn't ruin the shirt because it was my dad's. And it was just kind of past, when we were cleaning this. So
you basically defaced a family heirloom.
No, I did not deface it. I didn't put an heirloom. No hole in the shirt.
My late father donated this to me when I was.
It's a little big. It's a little big for me.
His final words were, "You can have it."
No, so this I did not.
I'll make you proud. 20 years from now, stick a fork in this thing on a live stream. What's a live stream? What's a live stream?
Man, smash glass overhead. We need OMG.
Dan Val Ramos. Dan wants 401k.
Oh, you know what I'm going to do the next time the Giants get ripped? I'm going to put a table out here, make a spread. I'm going to go get a 6-foot sub, and I'll just flip the table over.
MF says you guys golfing at the Pasquale golf tournament sounds legendary. Oh, it is.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? One of the things
awesome.
we need to discuss.
And they are really fired up to have us. I mean, really fired up. I mean, we're going to be hosting their auction. We're going to be drinking shots, throwing back sausage, dining. Oh, it's going to be incredible. We're going to be winking. We might get a pinky ring out of this. I mean, it's going to be incredible.
You know what your schedule is for the week? Are you working the game that week at all as of now?
If I am, I'm canceling the game. I will be at the golf tournament.
Because
I don't care if I've got Kyle Shanahan, Trey Lance, and John Lynch all lined up for interviews. I'll be taking shots with Pasquale.
I think Tuesday would be a great day to have the 30th.
I think it's a Monday, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a Monday. But if we could do a Tuesday where we did a show.
What, you want them to switch their golf tournament?
No. The three of us do our show on Tuesday at a meet and greet, and we have instead of phone calls, we actually have people coming in live, and maybe we have a Giants giveaway tickets for games that night.
Maybe we should. That's when we do the fantasy draft.
I actually wrote down, or I chose Sunday, August 28th at 6 p.m. Pacific.
So that's the night before. Night before the golf tournament.
Yes. Oh my God.
The golf tournament's the 29th. So the 28th we'll get together. And
we can do it on the 30th. I won't be there till Monday morning.
No, the 30th is going to be. Well, you can maybe be part of the draft via your computer, but we should do the draft. We should do the draft that night, and then
there's a Giants game at like 11 a.m. So we'll have plenty.
Giants
of
or
time.
Niners?
Giants.
What about Niners?
They play
the Niners. That's the week that's off in between preseason and week one.
Okay.
It's perfect.
There we go.
Okay, so
fantasy draft, baby.
Yeah, they're playing
There's
Minnesota.
A bunch of restaurants who want to host us too for the fantasy draft.
Really?
Yeah.
Who does?
Some undisclosed locations right now. Talking to a couple different pizza places that are interested.
I might have to change my flight.
Change the flight.
I got it for Monday morning.
They sound like Ratty. Ratty's. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Can I get some potatoes?
Oh man. Yeah, Dan Shanks. You got that right. Man, J49. You're gonna it's either a shank.
We're gonna be talking so much trash on this fantasy thing. It's just gonna be unbelievable.
God. I can't wait. The thing is, Dan, I feel like we're gonna have like 25 trades between the two.
Come on, Robert.
Don't be. Who will be? You know what? Whoever makes the most transactions in our league has to win the Farhan Zaidi Award.
Well, okay. So this is one way of getting rid of that. Do you want to do Fab? Have you ever done Fab?
What's Fab?
Okay, so normally, Dan, because Dan's never really done fantasy, normally it's just every week, they do a reverse of the record. So the worst record gets to, have the first waiver claim, which that's always the way I've done it. But you also can do a thing where you have Fab, where you start out with $100 and then you can bid on players. But I
don't want to do the bidding. I just want to do a snake draft because there's too much thinking and there's a good chance I could be really fucked up. And I don't want to. If I'm really messed up, I want to still be able to win.
That's just for waivers, though.
Okay,
but
no, I still like. I don't like that because then, believe me, you're making your own job hard if you're the commish.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have more important stuff. I can't have you bogged down with, Dan's
Robert,
made 19 trades.
Robert Rothberg, calling Robert Rothberg. Robert Rothberg, I know you're there. Please call in right now to 510-823.
Robert Rothberg, she said, I found the solution to resolve the Giants' problems. I predict they win 40 of the next 51 games.
Robert, call in, and I want to offer you that community college course on reality, and I'm going to pay for the course. And
hey, wait a second. If a guy has an idea that the Giants can go 40-11, I think we put him on the line. If it sounds good, I think we call up Kappler and get him on the line as well.
Come on, Robert, please call. You got the nerve to put that out there. I'm going to offer
40-11, Robert. We need to hear from you.
Robert,
I want to know.
Robert, you just call in. And talk to us, and I'll send you tickets to the Pirates game tomorrow night. You want to go? You believe in this club so bad? I want to hear it. I want to hear your theory why. And I will send you Giants tickets for Friday night's game if you want to go. They're awesome seats. Come on, Robert. Call in.
Seriously, you don't realize, Robert, how bad you want to go see the Pirates. They have a guy who puts a cell phone in his back pocket while he plays.
Yes.
And slid head first to take account because he had total account of the fact that he had the celly
Mark
in his back pocket.
The community college course is just you walk up and Tommy Pham slaps you on the side of the
Robert, call in. I want to hear your voice. I want
to hear your
like
voice.
Farhan,
now you're creeping me out. Justin Kerwin.
I want to know if he's Farhan.
Robert doesn't go to games in person.
Come on, Robert. Free tickets for Friday night's Pirates-Giants game.
Oh, he resides in the East Coast.
He's an East Coaster.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
So give us, Robert, if you don't want to come on, that's fine. But give us.
I have a client named Robert
chat.
Rothberg in Phoenix that's been my client for over 10 years. It can't be the same Robert. I don't believe. Otherwise, he would know me.
Rothberg.
So,
yeah.
Saturday,
Robert.
Saturday's the 2012 reunion.
Just explain. I want to hear your theory, and I promise we'll be respectful. I just want to hear why you believe the Giants you think can go 40-11.
MF says, let's do the fantasy draft at the Prune Yard. I saw Boach there last weekend. The Prune Yard? Where's that? You guys know the Prune Yard?
Prune Yard? No.
There's a cool little restaurant next to Casera's in Dublin we could hit. We could also hit Hooters. Hooters wings are hard to beat.
Oh, Robert says, if I call now, would you put me on hold? No.
No, I can put anybody on hold.
Call right in, Ryan. You have the phone ready. Call right now, Robert. That's 510-823-0534.
Operators are standing by.
823-0534. Once again, 510-823-0534.
This guy says, do you have to be in the league to attend the draft? No, not at all. You can just attend the draft. Right? Anybody can attend the draft. We'll tell people where we're going to draft.
Oh, my God.
Are you kidding me?
I need to fix my headphones real quick.
Look at dangling ears over there.
What do you got there, Ryan? His phone won't work without those headphones?
MF says the restaurant's in Campbell. I don't know if I want to go to Campbell. Not, that's like, why don't I stop by Gilroy on the way? I mean, that's deep. That's deep.
All right, we're working on the headphones, Robert.
But no, J Stamps, you want to attend the draft? Please do. In fact, that would be incredible if we got a bunch of people to attend the draft
and cheering and booing.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God, we could descend on like a mountain mics and just own the place. My buddy Jeet owns a couple mountain mics here in Concord. I'm sure Jeet would set us up.
Larry's got the first pick.
We also could go to my buddy. My buddy Damon owns Pig and a Pickle. Do we hit Pig and a Pickle? Have some barbecue.
I love Pig and a Pickle.
Pig and a Pickle. Have you been there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Pig and a Pickle.
Some Pig and a Pickle.
Seriously.
Dang.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
Danny, you're going to a barbecue restaurant. You're going to a barbecue place. You can only have one kind of barbecue. You want the sausages, the chicken, the pulled pork. The brisket. How about the brisket?
Brisket.
Is somebody going to answer the phone or what?
Rye, you got the phone ringing. It's Rothberg.
Rye, answer.
Hey.
He's got his headphones off. Answer the phone. The phone.
Uh-oh. Did you get it?
Do you get it? Hey, welcome to the Krueg Show.
Oh, good evening, gentlemen.
Is this Robert?
Is this Robert?
Yes, this is a passionate, loyal, devoted San Francisco Giant fan who resides on the East Coast.
Oh, what part of the East Coast, Robert?
Yeah, what part of the East Coast?
Excuse me?
What area? My sister lives in Connecticut.
Okay, I live in the infamous Staten Island area.
Staten Island. Okay.
Staten Island, sir. Yes.
And who's your teams? Give us your before you say anything more. Tell us the teams that you root for.
Okay, there's only one team that I have devoted many years of my life, and that's primarily the San Francisco Giants. I have no passion for any other team.
And Robert, why are you a Giants fan? Was this passed to you from your father?
I'm sorry?
How come you're a Giants fan?
I'm 71 and a half.
Okay, so you remember when they were in New York.
I always count the half.
Got to count. You have to count the half.
I'm sorry. You know when I became an avid San Francisco Giant fan? Literally, when the Giants lost in the 7th game to the New York Yankees 1-0 when McCovey
62.
lined out Bobby
62.
Richardson.
Yep. 5 feet either way, and the Giants would have won that.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, Giants fans, I mean, we should throw this in there. Ball hit down the right field line. Would have went to the corner. Instead, the ball died on the outfield grass, and Roger Maris, who's known for the home runs, made an incredible defensive play and got that ball in. That was a phenomenal play by Maris.
Got to give Rothberg credit too, because he's from the East Coast. He could have easily been a Yankees fan after they won, and instead he went with the lovable losers. So good on you.
Yes, that's a valid point. I never jumped on the bandwagon.
Look at you. You're a man of great loyalty. Now, how can the Giants go 40-11 in the final 51? The floor is yours, as they say.
And they don't even need to do 40. If they win 36.
I have the solution. If everybody would play up to the capabilities, not to exceed their expectations, just play up to the capabilities. And if the relief pitching comes back to earth and, is more reliable, I don't foresee a problem. I mean,
how exactly is that going to happen, though?
I'll tell you something. This year is really a contrast to last year. Last year, they could do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
It was a magical year. It was like a magic carpet ride.
Mr. Kappler made, it paid off. Every move. But unfortunately, I know it's an excuse, but to me, it's a valid excuse. They were plagued with so many injuries from day one. Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford, Evan Longoria, Lamont Wade. They've
had a lot of injuries.
It's an old team. I think you should have expected it.
Yeah, but it's hard to conceive that from one year to the next. You age. What do you age 100 years from one year to the next?
I understand that.
Let's just say this: how many guys in their 30s have great years after their career year?
Right. I've seen players
happen a lot.
To me, I'll be candid with you. I think the prime years for a ball player is maybe anywhere from maybe 26 to 34, where they can be very productive and be an impact player.
I might be a little on the. I think it's probably more like 26 to 32, but whatever. I hear you.
Okay. If what you say is true, that's why I'm very reluctant to give those extended contracts where the player becomes 37 and 38.
I hear you. And that's the dilemma the Giants are in right now, is that the farm system's not ready. They don't seem like they can make creative trades. They're not willing to trade their prospects away. So that means they're shopping in the free agent market, and the average free agent's about 32.
Exactly. Right now, the Giants are really in a vulnerable situation. They're really vulnerable. Because, like you say, the aging, Evan Longoria is contemplating retiring at this point.
Right. Robert, I appreciate you calling in, because I love your passion and the fact that you've been a Giants fan for 60 years.
I know you're on the air, but you have no idea. I used to be up till 1, 2 in the morning when Phil Regan, remember the vulture, Phil Regan for the Dodgers? I used to have to change the radio.
Not really. Do you guys remember Phil Regan with the Dodgers?
Oh, Phil Regan. You talking about the announcer, Phil Regan?
The vulture, yeah.
Yeah,
Old man Regan's kid.
Listen, I spent plenty of sleepless nights with the transistor radio, tuning in when the Giants played against the Phillies, the Pirates, the Braves. I was able to get those games at night.
Who's your favorite Giants announcer?
Both of the present gentlemen right now.
John Miller and Krueg and Kappler.
Yes. Yeah,
Dave
I think
Fleming.
they do an excellent job.
Who's your
You know,
Mount
and I'm
Rushmore?
glad they're a little biased, which I don't mind. You know,
Yeah.
because we have, you know, it does, but they're fair and they're reasonable, and they give credit to the other teams also.
Hey,
Hey,
Robert,
none of us are questioning that. I mean, seriously, that's the one
it's
thing
great
we're
to
pretty
hear
much in
a
lockstep.
71-year-old Giants fan who's been a Giants fan
No,
since he was 11.
let me 71 and a half.
71 and a half.
That's awesome.
71 and a half.
So, Robert, who's your all-time top four San Francisco Giants? Your best four that you've seen in your lifetime that you've seen?
Okay, yeah. I would have to go with the Dominican dandy Juan Marichal.
Ooh.
I would have to go for stretch Willie McCovey.
Uh-huh.
And I have to throw in Willie Mays. And I definitely have to include Mr. Barry Bonds.
Now, if you took Mays out, we had this question earlier.
He has mine, basically, right? Did he
yeah,
take,
well,
did
he had
take
Mays.
mine?
We couldn't have we couldn't put Willie Mays in because it said who's your four without Willie Mays.
That's right.
So Willie Mays would obviously be all.
I don't
of our
know why we're
number one.
taking Mays out. Mays played with the Giants from 50 in San Francisco from 51 to 72. It's probably one of the longest runs of any Giant in history. For some reason, just because he played from 51 to 57 in New York, it's like
So he spent more time.
I have an alternate.
What's that?
Yeah, my alternate.
Yeah, let's hear the alternate.
Who's your alternate?
Mr. Buster Posey.
Yep.
All right.
Over Will Clark?
Over Will Clark, Will the Thrill. Oh boy, that's a tough call, And then I can go either way, I can go with Orlando Cepeda if you want. There's so many other players.
Kevin Mitchell.
That I can relate to. I can go, but so many players.
Okay, let me throw one more at you. Most underrated Giant in history, in your guys' opinion. Most underrated Giant.
I want to hear Robert's answers. He's got.
I know. Robert's seen a lot of ball. Most underrated Giant.
I can go with Jim Ray Hart, the third baseman, the Jim Davenport.
He could rake.
If you remember him?
Yes.
Jim Davenport was a tremendous fielder and a clutch hitter also, Yeah,
pound out a bunch of doubles.
I vividly remember these guys, it's like yesterday for some reason.
Most underrated. That means
who you going with, Dan? Most underrated.
Wasn't a star then, right? Underrated. He would.
Well, I mean, could be a star.
I wouldn't categorize Jim Ray Hart as a superstar.
No, he wasn't, but he was a damn good hitter.
I love Tito Fuentes. I love Tom Haller.
Tito Fuentes, Tom Haller, yep. Tom Haller is also the Giants' general manager under Bob Lurie. Great catcher.
Correct.
Underrated Giant.
Matty Alou, Jesus Alou, Philippe Alou. You had the Alou brothers there, And,
I'll give you an underrated Giant. I'll give you an underrated Giant. Here's one. He was terrific. Terrific hitter, terrific pitcher, terrific athlete. Didn't do it for a long time, but he was terrific. Billy Swift. Do you guys remember Billy Swift?
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
20-game winner.
No longevity. Yeah,
no longevity, but I'm just as far as underrated, he was there wasn't really anything the guy did that wasn't great. He hit well, he bunted well, the guy was really
I got a couple of underrated guys.
Pitcher.
I got Robbie Thompson.
Yeah.
Robbie Thompson, very underrated.
Rich Aurelia.
Rich Aurelia, very underrated. Good call.
Ellis Burks.
Ellis Burks was very underrated.
Yeah.
Joe Panic was a good ball player.
Who's that?
Joe Panic.
Joe Panic.
Joe Panic.
Yeah, he's from back where you're from, right? Joe Panic from New York, right?
Yes.
I'll give you a really underrated Giant, and he's not synonymous with the Giants, but I saw him in '93, and he was incredible, even in 1993, and this was well past his prime. Willie McGee.
Let me give you one trivia question.
Who's that? What do you got?
When the Orlando Cepeda, who did they get?
Ray Sadecki.
Ray Sadecki, yes, Ray Sadecki.
Look at that.
And remember Ellis Burks?
Yes.
I do. Ellis Burks used to come into the restaurant at the ballpark and buy us beers after the game. I used to do the post-game show in there. Yeah. He'd be sitting there, he'd have dinner, and then they'd be like, hey, last call. And Ellis would be like, He'd raise his hand, be like, "Last call. You guys want one?" We'd be like, "Yeah, what the hell? Sure, what the hell, Ellis?" And he'd send us a beer every night. It was incredible.
Wow.
Guy was awesome.
That's great. Yeah, he had some great years.
I'm sure he had an amiable disposition. You know,
he was great.
He was a class act.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm so happy that you called in, Robert. This is awesome. See, this is turns into us. You know, you're giving it back to you. You're giving it to us, and then now all of a sudden we're getting these great stories. Didn't realize you were an East Coast.
You have no
listener.
idea what I have to cope with when all these people, respond. And all this, and all these remarks towards me, or all these comments, but that's okay. I'm not going to change my philosophy.
No, you got broad shoulders. You can take it. You can take it. Hey, let me ask you this though. What do you think of the show?
Yes,
what do you think of the show we do?
Can I be candid with you?
Yeah, be candid. Be candid. I don't care.
Leave Mr. Rogers. He's okay, Mr. Rogers. He's having a tough streak. It's like when he's struggling, you're like, we're kicking him down, I would give him more support and say, you know what, he's better than he's showing. He has more capabilities.
You're saying that we're too tough on Tyler Rogers.
I know. Look at McGee. Last year he had 32 saves. His ERA was under 3. Jake McGee. All of a sudden,
you're saying we should lay off Tyler Rogers, be nicer to Tyler, build him up.
No, I mean you can say that what I would say that he's not pitching up to his capabilities.
He did have a nice little stretch there.
He's far better than what he's throwing.
His previous 4 outings, he hadn't allowed to run. He seemed like he was
dinging there. What is that dinging in the background?
Or maybe a turn signal?
No, that's not me. No, that's not me. No.
Is that you, Larry?
That's not you.
Oh! It's an incoming call. Okay.
Robert, we'll let you go. Robert.
Robert, thanks so much.
Thanks, Robert. Appreciate your call.
Okay, thank you for taking my call.
Have a great night in Staten Island.
I appreciate the show.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, awesome, Robert.
You know what? Think about how cool that is. Robert, he has lived a life where he has gone from listening in the 60s in his bed on his transistor radio, listening to Giants games, to now mixing it up in the chat on YouTube, watching guys in San Francisco, across the country, seeing video.
Yeah, who would have thought 60 years ago that
in the chat? And it's cool, man.
Robert, can you tell us what you think of the show? Pause.
I got worried.
Can I be candid?
No. You guys are too negative.
I thought, you know what I thought was going to happen? I thought he was going to bury Dan. I thought he was going to say Dan needs to go.
I thought he might bury me. I was like, all of a sudden, Robert, I'm hanging on every word.
I thought Danny's been very critical recently. I thought maybe Robert would say Danny's got to go, but he doesn't like the fact that
Larry. Not as critical as Larry.
This is the call I just missed.
He says, "Hey, lift up Tyler Rogers." Yes, hello, welcome to the Krueg Show.
It's Chardall calling from Fremont, California. How are you guys doing?
Hey,
Chardall. What's up? It would not be a full show without Chardall.
But
what's up, big man?
Against the Padres, I mean, we should have won this game. We had a chance of winning this game, and we just gave it away to the Padres. It was kind of upsetting. It was kind of disappointing how close. How the Giants tied it up 7-7, and then the Padres came up and just scored 6 unanswered runs, and then we just lost the game. It was just heartbreaking, man. I mean, I there's nothing else I can say right now, man.
Actually, Chardall, they were up 7-6. They trailed 6-4, came back with 3, went ahead 7-6, and then the Padres scored 7.
Chardall, how do you get over these games? How do you get over it?
I mean, I just say the tip. These are the tips I give the Giants. I say that learn from the loss. You can get this team next time we play them. Don't lose hope. Because baseball, you got to win some and lose some. That's just what baseball is about. It's just you're not going to win every single game. That's not how it works. Then because
Chardall, have you I don't want to advocate for gambling, but have you ever thought about putting a little wager down when, the Giants, like, for example, for tonight, when the Giants got up 4-0, I put a little wager on the Padres. And now, I'm kind of a happy guy because I made a little money at least.
Are you going to try to encourage Chardal to wager?
Scaremoney.com.
I mean, I want to.
Are you going to pay for
to wager, but like,
addiction?
My parents tell me not to wager because, like, if you wager a lot of money and your team ends up losing, you lost all that money you wagered. So I don't think
that is true.
It's a good idea to wager.
Yeah, stay away from your parents' credit cards. I would say stay away from your parents' credit cards. That'd be my advice.
I gambled before and I lost all my money. I didn't end up.
How much did you wager before?
I put in maybe $10 or $12 into the machine.
Yep.
Okay.
You're going to get you. It'll get you. Val Ramos, Chardal says, this show always makes my day. Thanks, guys. Chardal, how do you feel about our show?
I mean, I love your show, and you just keep getting better every single day. You get to get all these great people on your show. I mean, you just keep rocking it and just keep doing a phenomenal job, and who knows where the show will take you.
There you go. Hey, Chardal, man, you're the best, man. Hey, have a great night, Chardal. We'll talk to you.
Hey, any other callers before we wrap up? You got just a
great Chardal, man. Look at that,
Chardal.
Yeah, so it's great to what's great is when we have the call. We did have the
video calls are the best. So we got to go video calls.
Are great when Hutch comes into the room and it gets kind of like.
Who did we have on the other night?
Oh, Sean Proctor.
Sean
Proctor.
We also had. I know. Romo did a show with me actually, and then we had. Who else was
we might be due for a Larry.
Let's do this. We've been going 2.5 hours. Let's pay the bills right here. We'll hear from the guys in the bleachers, and we'll call it a night. It's all coming up next on the Krueg Show.
Larry Krueger here for Telmetrics. Thanks to Casey Bateman and the good people at Telmetrics. If you're an occupational therapist, if you're an orthopedic surgeon, a chiropractor, a physical therapist of any kind, Telmetrics is designed for you to use in your practice and will greatly benefit your patients. Telmetrics uses computer vision and artificial intelligence and provides a platform for outpatient rehab therapy services, both in the clinical and the telehealth environments. So using Telmetrics can improve your patient's experience and much more. So for all your sports injury needs, or if you're a physical rehabilitation specialist of any kind, call and make sure you use telmetrics.co, TELMETRIX.co. And thanks to Casey Bateman and all the good people at Telmetrics for being a proud sponsor of the Krueg. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Dan Coccimilgio. Dan is a buddy, and he is a phenomenal retirement planning specialist. And you can contact him today at securemoney.com or at his number 925-628-9966. There's a lot of uncertainty in our world right now, and you want to make sure that your money is secure. That is the key. Danny's got 25 years of experience, born and raised right here in the Bay Area, and he can help you get an immediate 10% premium bonus on your principal retirement account. So give him a call, 925-628-9966. He'll make an appointment with you, and you can sit down. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of a deal. He'll consult with you and come up with a strategy to get you going to where you want to be. Once again, 925-628-9966, securemoney.com on the web. And thanks to Tony Cassera and the good people at Cassera's Italian Menswear. They are housing the Krueg Show t-shirts, and they're a proud sponsor of the show as well. The Krueg Show t-shirt, the Krueg Show podcast t-shirt is available there at their store in Dublin. Their address is 7372 San Ramon Road in Dublin, California. And go see Tony Cassera and get yourself a Krueg Show t-shirt and support the show. And special thanks to our sponsor, New York Style Italian Sausage. That's right, NewYorkStyleSausage.com is their website. Phenomenal product, whether it's the breakfast sausage, the Italian mild, the Italian spicy, the chorizo. You cannot go wrong with New York Style Italian Sausage. Once again, NewYorkStyleSausage.com. Often imitated, never equaled.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday dinner without sausage, it's like a church without God. You know, how can you go to church if you don't believe in God? You know, and along with the sausage also became the discussions. That was discussion night. You know, it wasn't a typical family that you sit there and you're quiet, you know, and you don't talk with a mouthful. Oh no, man. Italians talk when they're eating. Italians even talk when they're sleeping. And definitely we talk with our hands. So if we can't express it through our mouth, through our lips, we express it with our hands. So, and that's what sausage is, really. It's an expression, you know, that life is good.
So New York style sausage was started over 70 years ago. We are the largest producer of fresh Italian sausage on the West Coast.
What makes our sausage in New York style is really the recipe came from back east, from New York, you know, from Connecticut.
If you look at all of our labels, there's maximum 4 or 5 ingredients, which we're really proud of.
There's no preservatives, no MSG, fresh in, fresh out.
The pork comes in fresh, goes out fresh. There's never any freezing throughout the process. We've always used fine quality cuts. We're never gonna deter from that. It's one of the reasons why our sausage is so good. I guarantee you put our sausage up against anybody else's from a flavor standpoint, no one will beat it, hands down.
Hey, do yourself a favor and do me a favor. Go buy a package of the New York style Italian sausage. Guaranteed you will love it, guaranteed.
All right, welcome back to the Krueg Show. Final couple minutes here on a Wednesday. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks for everybody who participated in the chat today. Sorry I was late to the chat today because I was doing radio, but a lot of fun this week, working Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with Guru on 95.7 The Game. I'll be back on 95.7 The Game on Monday. I'm working with the great Mark Willard. Mark Willard and I will get together Monday, and can't wait to rap with Willard. Always one of my favorites. Tomorrow, do we have another call?
Hello?
Who's there?
Hello?
Hey, Sean.
Again.
The return.
Did you forget your keys on the table?
But I think the most exciting series that I'm really looking forward to would be the Dodgers versus Giants series.
Okay.
Iconic series, man. You know, that's the most iconic series. Like, you know, they are like two iconic teams going after each other. I think I'm really excited, and I think like the Giants are going to sweep them. I mean, you know, because they've been giving us so much.
Chardonnay, wait a second. Here we go. Let's on your way out. Danny will put his fist in the air, and all I want to hear is "Beat LA, beat LA." Can you give us a good "Beat LA" chant for like 30 seconds? Yeah. All right, here we go. Wait until Danny puts that fist in the air.
Chardonnay, can you see me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see you.
You can see me?
He can't see you.
Yeah,
he can hear you. Just say.
Okay, you just give the "Beat LA." Ready? Give your best chant. 30 seconds of it.
Beat LA, beat LA, beat LA, beat LA,
beat LA, beat.
All right,
Chardonnay.
Chardonnay, that's great stuff, man. Have a great night.
See you later, Larry.
Sounds good. Chardonnay, the great Chardonnay, stopping by. Second time in the show.
Yeah, that was
the
How do we
only
miss you
show
if you
in
won't go
America where you can call in and then 5 minutes later call back in again.
There you go.
And
Eddie
actually
Flores
get
says
on.
it sound. Danny, can you give us a Beat LA in the Kermit the Frog voice?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe this will inspire the team. This is what I think they're going to call me up for the next series, and I'm all right, gentlemen. We're going to really go out there and we're going to give it our best, and I want all 26 of you to follow my lead. Beat LA. Beat LA. Beat LA. Come on, guys. Get fired up. Come on. You guys watched Hard Knocks. I am Gabe. Gabe brought me in as the guest speaker here to help you guys along. And if you guys go out there and beat LA, I guarantee you I will let you we'll cook Miss Piggy and we'll all have barbecued pork.
Ouch.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Oh, fork? Is there a fork in me?
Eddie Flores says, Dan, you should have told him to do the Larry Krueger chant. Oh, that would have been good, too.
Hey,
that
call back, Chardon. One more time. Third time's the charm.
Here we go.
Mark Graves. And I gotta learn how to do Miss Piggy.
All right, let's get fired up here. Let's go. Everybody get fired up in the left field bleachers here. Yeah. Imagine if I go out there next time and go, all right, I'm going to be I'm going to be Kermit the Frog, and we're going to be on the Kruger show.
On the show.
Yeah, we're going to be on YouTube right now tonight. All right. Okay.
My favorite part.
When I say Larry, you say Kruger. Larry. Kruger. Larry. Kruger. Larry. Kruger. All right.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you won't get exactly what you asked for. Here for whatever you bring me, getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to hassle. Yeah. We ain't never fall back. Hold our ground where we at.